everybody hush. Hush for a second. Wait, okay. Yay, there I am! Yay! Okay, hi! Hello! Ah! People are here. Wow. Hello. I'm trying to figure out what I want to draw. I've been drawing, like, my, like, Twisted Wonderland self-insert, like, my U, which doesn't make sense unless you know. And I got this so far. Yay. Let's see. Let's have a little background music, actually. That would be nice. Starfy, you can keep playing. Hi! So, actually, the first thing, before going over, the Madoka video, which we have permission now. We've got permission. I would like to briefly, so it was, no, that's the cage. Where do I have, window capture? Okay. Yeah. I want to talk about sparkling stars, cause I'm mad about it, okay? It's like, they're doing a Twisted Wonderland, except it's like, the companies that's doing this does, like, generative AI stuff, and it's like, I'm mad about it. I don't know, it looks like some kind of idol thing, but these are guys. This guy's name is literally Neo Michael. It's just New Mickey, which I kind of love that. This guy is Donald, and then that's Daffy. The Daffy guy, okay, I can see that. I can see this is Daphne. Daffy, what the hell? And this is Chip and Dale, and I don't really care about them. They're just kind of there. Why not? I don't know, man. I don't understand Goofy's look at all. No, but then these guys. So here's the thing. I love the idea of, like, doing, they even have similar term, sparked by. Like, so it's like, oh, these are sparked versions of the characters. Yeah. Here's Monsters, Inc. Here are the Monsters, Inc. guys. Look at them. Like, here, Monsters, Inc. is one of my, he's got one of the canisters as a necklace. Are you kidding me? Oh, that's sick. But I can't like these designs because, like, I can never tell which aspects of them were done by the AI and which ones were done by, like, an actual human. And that's the thing that pisses me off. I'm so mad about it. But, oh my god, the Sully dude with his nails. Wait, oh my god. Look at the nail. Oh! Hi, I'm doing great. Oh my god. I hate how cool they look. Oh my god, he's got like a little thingy too. I love the Mikey guy. He looks silly and fun. I'm mad. I'll never know which parts were generated. And then, so we got these guys. Who are Beauty and the Beast guys. We got Belle. We got Gaston. We have the Rose, which I think is very interesting. Yes, I love Pokemon Horizons. I might be a couple episodes behind, so I gotta catch up. And then the Beast. The Beast, I find it, I don't know. This guy, like, this feels like you took the character design of the Beast and told, like, a chatbot. The other one is Ross, by the way. Ross? God, I can't remember. It's been forever since I should have watched Monsters, Inc. on the plane. But it looks like they just, I don't know, considering that this guy is like Genshin Black. Like, it's like, okay. And And then, but like this guy's the darkest of all the revealed cast, and he's like the Beast. Something about that feels a little off to me. But that is my kind of bit. I love the... Although, also this guy, he looks like Picaro Fragaria Memories. Why does he just look like Picaro Fragaria Memories? Except, like, his color palette is, like, swapped. And it's like, I don't know, because clearly as I am a huge fan of Twisted Wonderland, I want to like this. The receptionist that, oh, yeah, the other one is Ross, or, I don't know. I love him. He looks sick as hell. I love this little guy. He's so cute. I want to like these characters because it's taking a lot of fun inspiration, and I think, and it's like, it's cool, but I can't like it because I don't know what's generative AI and what isn't. And that sucks! And I'm mad about it. This is like the lamest Mickey design ever, by the way. Like, if you want to make Mickey into a pretty anime boy, like, you can do better than this. You can do better. I don't know, give him, I don't know, I'm mad about it, okay? But we'll just have to see, how things play out, what it will eventually become. It does genuinely feel like they just took Twisted Wonderland and Fragaria Memories and slammed them together and are like, yeah, something. Oh god, I just remember Fragaria Memories is gonna have like a phone game too. Oh, that'd be so cool. When will they come out with it, please? Screams. Okay, anyway. Hi, baby. Anyway, time for the react. So, we were watching this video last time, and then I read the summary, and then I was like, oh, whoops, because it was like, you can't react to this. And so I emailed the guy, and he got back to me, and we have permission to stream. We have permission to react. So, we're gonna start the video from the beginning. And we'll go from there. I feel like I had something I was drawing and now I can't remember. Someone donate on my behalf. What? Why? Wait, what? What? Let's see. I have my Alice Seeker thing. Actually, I did do some drawing. Do we have any sketches that I would want to refine? I wonder if they will have a Boo stand and she's the third main character, but it'd be weird to have a teen. Nah, dude, that's the whole beauty of it. You can have a teen boy version of any character imaginable. You know, it'd be really funny if the Boo version, like that's canonically Boo from Monsters Inc. He just transitioned when he got older. I think that would be funny. Let's see. Oh, wait a minute. I also realized I turned my alert box off at one point. Is it still off? No, it's not. Good. Let's see. What do I want to draw? What could I draw? How's everyone else today? What are y'all up to? Let's see. Or I could do... Let's see. I have my Tears of the Cosmos girlies. I should do something with that. Or my egg girls. Let's see. Oh yeah, I got another attack on Art Fight, and I'm like, ah! Oh my god! Let's see. Well, I have this. I, like, did this on stream, and then I never posted it, so, like, rip. Oh. Hanoosh, no! My roommate's cat just stole my cat's cardboard from under the door. Everyone put F in chat. Oh, right, the egg compact. I could, yeah. I'll draw this thing, because I want to design it. All right. I'm going to drink some water, and then we're going to react. Because I was, in fact, given permission to react to this. Let's go.
What makes a masterpiece? Is it a good plot? Is it the characters? Maybe
Is
even
the
art style?
volume
Well, in 2011,
good?
an anime just might have had the answer to that. Steins Gate had the world captivated, giving birth to the Redditors we see today with their superior intellect. Hunter x Hunter was getting its second adaptation where they forgot that Kite existed. And Nichijou was...
Let's see, my birthday.
Nichijou was there. It seemed like everything was perfect. There was
It's
an
in
anime
2
for
weeks,
just
so
about
I...
everyone.
Oh, cool!
Madoka Magica appeared, taking the forefront and crushing the opposition. Okay, no, not really. But what it did do was change how the subgenre would be portrayed as
Iconic.
forever. But what is it about? How did it revolutionize the subgenre, and is it still worth watching old?
Again, so I'm not a fan of this style of editing that's just constantly switching around. You know, like, it's just like, why, though? Why do we need all of that always happening?
Okay, no, not really. But what it did do was change how the subgenre would be portrayed as forever.
How?
But what is it about? How did
Well, I
it
guess I
revolutionize the
should slow my
subgenre,
roll.
and is it still worth watching all these years later? Yes, this even has potential to be in your top 5. Madoka Magica is a story about a group of magical girls saving the world from witches alongside their cat-like companion, Kyubei. In order for them to become magical girls, they must ask Kyubei for a single wish to be granted, and no matter how absurd the wish, it will be done, with the result being that they must spend the rest of their days fighting said witches. On the surface, it might sound like a little baby girl show.
So, I still hold that comment in great contempt. Because, what the fuck is your problem? You would never describe Naruto as a little baby boy show. But, like, why not? It is a show that is for young boys. So why wouldn't you describe it as a little baby boy show? Why wouldn't... Are they implying Nichijou as a magical girl show? No. I don't know. I don't know what they're implying by saying, like, Nichijou was there. I don't get it. But I still stand... You know what? I stand by my initial reaction when I was first watching this. Like, where he said, oh, it's a baby girl show. And I'm like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. That wasn't nice. But still, like, it's... What... I would love to ask, what do you mean it's a baby girl show? Define that for me.
But in reality, it tells some extremely deep and personal stories, with the repercussions of becoming a magical girl being fully shown to us. Throughout the series, we see this group... This is another nitpick, and I apologize, but, like, I do really hate when people say, it shows the repercussions of becoming a magical girl, as if that's a thing that happens in real life. Also, you know what? Nichijou can be a magical girl show. I have not seen Nichijou. I have seen, like, bits of the animation because it's funny as hell. But I don't know. I declare Nichijou a magical girl show. Vibes alone. Alright, wait. Let me get this one circle right, and then we'll keep going. What? Oh, no, wait. Oh, shit. I'm an idiot. Oh, God, no. Ah! Did I move other things? Okay, good. I want to design this little compact as if it would be a toy in real life, right? Like,
I want to design it like it could be a marketable toy for children to bother their parents to get them. You know? Like, because I feel like that's the problem with a lot... I feel like that's the problem with a lot of modern magical girls. Is, like, they don't have transformation items. They don't have, like, marketable toys. And that's somewhat been remedied with, like, Princession Orchestra and, Magical Sisters Lily Toluta. I can't remember. But, like... that just, like, it bothers me that magical girl stuff don't really have transformation items anymore, when that's, like, a fundamental part of the genre and its success. So I'm correcting that with my own little guys. Anyway,
struggle with maintaining their ideals, portrayed in a way that's reasonably down to earth, all while the feelings of unease periodically wash over us. Because a majority of the show is centered around its characters, there's not much I can say regarding the plot without going over spoilers. I can't exactly say that the plot is simple, because it most definitely is not, especially when we get into the movie, but just know that
I mean, honestly, Luluto Lily, thank you. Honestly, the plot of Madoka Magica is actually very simple. I mean... a normal girl discovers, like, a magical side of the world that she didn't know about and struggles as she watches the people around her suffer. That's pretty simple to me. I don't know.
Shows a more realistic depiction of what it's like to shoulder the heavy burden of tragedy as a kid. Each character has a goal that they've either already reached or are trying to reach. Some of these goals are told to us or are in the form of their wishes, whereas others are more deeply rooted into their psyches, with the characters themselves not even understanding what they want in this life. Madoka, our main character, on the other hand, doesn't really have any goals. Unlike the rest of the cast, she's lived the most normal life and has the least ambition.
So he says, like, Madoka has lived the most normal life. What about Sayaka? Sayaka has also lived a pretty normal life. Why is she different? Like, she's different in that her personality is much different than Madoka's, but I disagree. The merchandise is by far the part of Magical Girl shows that I care about the least. That's fair, okay? I understand that, but I am different. I love Magical Girl merchandise. Because it's all about the role play, you know, of imagining that you too could be these, like, awesome warriors and stuff. And, like, frankly, what I couldn't get toys of, which is most of Pretty Cure, like, I just made it myself. Like, I made, like, an air dry foam. Dude, I did a lot of stuff as a kid. I made a lot of stuff as a kid. Let's see. I think that's supposed to be the side. Why did I draw that line there? What layer is this on? Where? Oh, where? Okay, there we go. I think maybe that was just, like, the opening separation line. Wait, maybe I should keep it then. Heck. And where's this? Yoink. And copy and paste and let's... But, like, for me... And you know what? Here's the thing. The whole merchandise stuff... Yeah, merchandise is what funds a franchise. It's true. Since the days of Minky Momo. But I think what it's about for me is, like... It's just fun to physically hold these items in your hand. I still get kind of giggly when I hold my Smile Pact or when I wave around the Flower Tact. It is like something special about it. And here's the thing. I know, like, another part of especially Magical Girl, like, merchandise are, like, dolls and stuff. I've never really cared about the dolls, but when it comes to the toys from the show, Oh, pardon me. That's what I love. Nope. Yeah. Wait, this a little... Yeah. Okay. Because I gotta think... I don't know.
She's naive and selfless to an infuriating extent, but that's exactly what makes her character great.
What do you mean
She's a
to
character
an
we can sympathize
infuriating
with, and
extent?
someone who holds up a very high moral standard, which makes her character progression throughout the story all the more intriguing. Over the course of this series, moral compasses misalign, and whether a character is right or wrong comes fully from the viewer's interpretation. The pacing for this show is really good. Every single episode is important, but not to the point where lore revelations feel like they're bombarding you. I mean, except for one. The first couple episodes may feel dragged out, but in reality, it's necessary setup for the inevitable drop, where from that point on, things just get quicker and quicker. For reference, the manga is only 12 chapters long, and that
So it was around here that, we stopped last time, because bro was saying the manga is only 12 chapters long, and the anime is only 12 episodes, and oh wow, isn't that impressive? And it's like, the manga is an adaptation of the anime, because the anime came first. Very famously, it's an anime original series.
all fits into 12 episodes. It takes its time at the beginning, but the result is very much worth the wait. Trust me, I'm very trustworthy. You should give me your money. But Hyaku, how did this bring about a new age in the subgenre? Shut up, we'll get to that now, little Timmy. You see, before Madoka Magica...
So, okay, no, here was when I stopped and, like, where I started reading the description. I was about to say manga second, yeah, I know. And I started being like, hey, wait a minute, what the fuck? So here's where the real deal starts.
There weren't many dark magical girl shows, but due to the insane...
Shut up. Let's see. Revolutionary Girl Utena. There are many moments in Sailor Moon that are pretty dark. Princess Tutu. Magical Girl Lyrical Nonoha. I haven't actually watched Lyrical Nonoha, but I'll get there eventually. There was the manga of Fate Prisma Ilia. Like, that came out before Madoka Magica. So, like, there wasn't really a lot of dark magical girl shows. Brother hasn't watched an episode of Ojamajo Do Re Mi.
In popularity of it, the subgenre would explode in relevance. Shows like Magical Girl Raising Project and Yuki Yuna as a Hero
Dragging the microphone closer. Yuki Yuna as a Hero is not a Madoka ripoff. No, the fuck it is not. I understand the similarities. It's like, 5 girls and they become magical girls to protect the world, but then there's an unforeseen side effect that is like, and there's a dark colored one that like wants to protect the pink one and all that stuff. But fundamentally, they are extremely different shows. In terms of pacing and pretty much everything about them, they are extremely different shows. And to pretend that they aren't is simply dishonest. Also, what do you mean, like, author kind of weird, not gonna lie. Like, you can't just, that's another thing that bothers me, is like, he's just like saying things or presenting information without, I don't know, substantiating any of it. Like, you better fucking say, I need to be nicer. It's okay. But you really should substantiate these kinds of things if you say, this is a Madoka ripoff.
would all step up to the mantle, attempting to challenge the already existing masterpiece that was Madoka Magica. But I'm gonna be real, they don't hold a candle to the original. This would lead to the increased popularity of the rabbit hole of a trope that is the subversion of expectations.
What?
Now, to say that Madoka Magica pioneered it...
What? Okay, wait.
Would be a complete lie, as there were many series that did the same. However, it did bring the plot device more into the light of the anime industry, changing how we would perceive the medium forever.
What?
Not only that, but due to the subgenre basically being perfected after all of this, all other series within that same genre would be bombarded with comments stating that it was just another Madoka ripoff.
Okay, yet another Madoka ripoff. Okay.
So yeah, by being almost perfect, it killed its competitors.
What are you?
A lot of people like to say that it broke the mold, therefore it's good, but there's a lot more to it than just that. It's a show that gets you swinging from one emotion to another in the span of an episode.
I'm really trying to figure out what he's even saying at the moment. I'm sorry, let's go back and hear that again.
Popularity of it, the subgenre would explode in relevance.
Okay, so what do you mean the subgenre? Are we talking about magical girls or dark magical girls? What subgenre are you talking about? You have not made that clear, and that makes your point extremely difficult to follow. Oh my gosh. Also, yeah, wait, I should say, like, hi, Nobles T. Yeah, hee. God, I remember, I just, like, you were, like, doing a stream where you were looking over, like, the new Pretty Cure information, and I'm just, like, casually, like, oh, cool, yeah, why not? I'll check that out, and I'm do a little comment, and you're like, oh my god, it's you, and I'm like, ah. So it's nice to see you here, too. Nobles T does a lot of cool stuff, and y'all should follow her as well. Yay! Anyway, so what is this guy saying?
Shows like Magical Girl Raising Project and Yuki Yuna as a hero would all step up to the mantle, attempting to challenge the already existing masterpiece that was Madoka Magica. But I'm gonna be real, they don't hold a candle to the original. This would lead to the increased popularity.
So I do actually agree that, like, Madoka Magica is a better story, I think. But that doesn't, well, especially than Magical Girl Raising Project, because that anime is a mess. I do love Calamity Mary, though. But, like, I don't know. What are you saying?
Of the rabbit hole of a trope that is the subversion of expectations.
So, subversion moe series actually being dark has been a thing for a hot minute. Yeah, you know School Live? That shit's a thing. I'm very confused, like, he's saying subversion of expectations is a trope? Why don't you just say, oh, the trope was I'm being pedantic, I'm sorry.
Now, to say that Madoka Magica pioneered it would be a complete lie, as there were many series that did the same. However, it did bring the plot device more into the light of the anime industry, changing how we would perceive the medium forever. Not only that, but due to the subgenre basically being perfected after all of this, all other series
what do
within
you
that same genre
mean,
would
the
be bombarded with comments
subgenre?
stating that it was just another Madoka ripoff. So yeah, by
Are
being
you
almost perfect, it killed its competitor.
Do you mean magical girls or quote-unquote dark magical girls? What are you saying? Let's see. Oh, am I on the wrong? No, I'm on the right layer. I just wasn't. Let's see. And then. So anyway, I'm doing a transformation, or just some little poses from a supposed, like, transformation for my little egg girl. And this, she's like, she's like popping out of an egg that's cracking, and she's got like this loose white flowiness that will eventually become her dress, and then it's like the yellow ties around it, and it's neat. But perfection is also subjective. Madoka just holds the position of most notoriety. True.
A lot of people like to say that it broke the mold, therefore it's good, but there's a lot more to it than just that. It's a show that gets you swinging from one emotion to another in the span of an episode. It paints a picture of nihilism, but not to the extent that Berserk does, and for that, I gotta say it's a lot more than just a unique show.
He is saying so much, and but he's not saying anything at all. Like, it's it's a little baffling. He's just saying, like, Madoka was good and it broke the mold, but also just because it broke the mold doesn't mean that it was good. And I'm like... And also, he keeps making references to, like, other things, and you gotta say something about that. You had, like you said, like, oh, it's certainly not Berserk. Hey, I'm somebody who's never seen Berserk. What does that mean? You have to tell me.
It's a goddamn masterpiece. But enough about that, let's go over the art. Do not watch this while zoinked on the Zaza, you might get a panic attack.
What the fuck?
The animation in this show is pretty solid and holds up for its age, but that's not really the main reason you're coming here. There are quite a few art styles in the show, and yet they all somehow blend perfectly. In most shows, the characters will look like their surroundings, but in this one, they look completely different. The architecture and scene...
No, I feel like the Madoka characters fit in pretty well with their environment. But, whatever.
feels grungy, while the characters look like they came straight out of a kid's show. This paired with the slop...
The characters came out of a kid's show! What do you mean by that? Just because they have colorful hair? It's like, you want to say that, like, Mirai Nikki looks like the characters came out of a kid's show just because the main girl has pink hair? Like, that's not how that works. That's truly not how anything, like, that's not how anything works.
Glows and some of the lighting makes it feel like you're in a haze while watching it. The way that the witch labyrinths are stylized is extremely surreal and oddly fitting. They use animated fairy tale paintings throughout the show in a way that's extreme.
Animated what?
It's grungy, while the characters look like they came straight out of a kid's show. This paired with the soft glows and some of the lighting makes it feel like you're in a haze while watching it. The way that the witch labyrinths are stylized is extremely surreal and oddly fitting. They use animated fairy tale paintings throughout the show.
I'm sorry, give me a moment. What are you... Do you have closed captions? Animated fairy tale paintings. What does that mean? What do you mean animated fairy tale paintings? They use mixed media. Like, it's mixed media. That's what it is. What?
In a way that's extremely creative and
also, like, all the witches have a different style in their labyrinth. Some of them do use, like, traditional 2D animation. Some of them are, like, these collage-style cutouts. Akame ga Kill was super popular when it hit in the West, and I still think it's trash, and it bombed in Japan. That's really funny that it, like, was super popular over here, but in, like, Japan, no. That's funny. I'll see Akame ga Kill someday. Oh, whoops, that's the wrong tool.
honestly, it's gorgeous, just not in the typical way. Not to mention all the symbolism that they hold, which I won't get into because then we'd be here all day. It's nauseating and nightmarish in a good way.
What? Okay, it's fine. Don't. It's fine. It's fine.
The TV series soundtrack is really good. It's dreamy and has that nostalgic feel to it, mostly because it's an older OST. Yuki Kajiura made this, which is the same composer who helped create Sword Art Online and Demon Slayer's OSTs. So yeah, a big shot. The OST has such a wide range of styles. It goes from slice of life
did she do? I thought... Okay, wait. Yuki Kaji. I didn't know she did music for those series. And I want to double check considering this... no, wait. That's the voice actor. Kaji... Wait, what did he say?
And has that nostalgic feel to it, mostly because it's an older OST. Yuki Kajiura made this, which is the same composer who helped create Sword Art Online.
Sorry, Okay, that was my brain being dumb. Let's see. What did she work on as project member? Anime. Okay, so she did do Sword Art Online and Demon Slayer. Okay, cool. Cool. I just wanted to double check.
So yeah, a big shot. The OST has such a wide range of styles. It goes from...
And honestly, as somebody who, I haven't recently watched Demon Slayer because I like binged the manga and then whatever, but and it's been years since I watched Sword Art Online, but like I don't know. I would no, I'm biased. I'm sorry. I was about to say I would have said she did work for Pandora Hearts and The Case Study of Vanitas. Oh, but that's me. That's me being biased, and I fully acknowledge that.
Slice of life happy tones to intense opera to fucking electric guitar riffs. It's random, it's great, it's one of my favorites. The movie's OST takes everything I said and brings it to a whole new level.
Okay, wait. You have to explain. You gotta. You can't just say things. You have to explain them. Somebody who doesn't know what Madoka Magica is, and there will be, here's the thing, no matter how many, like, spoiler warnings you give, or how many times you say, if you haven't seen it, go watch the series, like, people who have not seen the source material are still going to be watching your video. You need to explain things. And somebody might think from this, like, oh, Madoka Magica is a 12-episode manga that became a 12-episode, like, TV show, and then later on had a movie. And it's like, that's not it at all. What are you talking about? I feel, am I being too, like, nitpicky? I feel like I might be. But I'm also just, like, I'm sorry, but this dude saying baby girl anime at the beginning, like, kind of rubbed away all, like, goodwill I had. But, oh
my god, it's amazing. The leitmotif of Madadame Yo being present in so many songs adds an extra layer to the once happy tune, with Something Everything Is Wrong being one of my favorite pieces, not because of its complexity, but because of it having a completely hollow feeling, despite the melody being uplifting. Also, Absolute Configuration really takes that intense feeling and cranks it to 100. Holy fucking shit, this was metal.
Dude, if you're gonna talk about how good the music is, maybe you should, I don't know, like, play some of it? I don't know, that's just my crazy wild idea.
While the OST doesn't have an actual translation to some of its songs, it's meant to sound similar to Latin, kind of like Bloodborne's OST. It gives off a Catholic feeling, which is perfect as there are religious innuendos throughout this series.
Religious innuendos? I mean, I guess that's a way that word can be used, but most people use innuendo in terms of, like, oh, sex joke or whatever. I don't know.
Specifically in regards to the German tale of Faust. We'll get to that later.
Faust? Why do these people keep talking about Faust? Like, I get it. I get copyright gods would smite him. I mean, they should have in the first place, because somebody should have smited him. That's a joke. That's a bit. What are you saying, dude?
Okay, so now that I've completely...
the showing image, like, specifically Kyoko. Okay, so we gotta remember that, like, Madoka Magica takes place in Japan. Whoop-de-doo. Kyoko and her family are very clearly, like, Catholic or some denomination of Christian. And the whole thing with Kyoko is that her father was a preacher and nobody would listen to him about talking about, like, kindness and goodwill to your neighbor and all that stuff. And so she used her wish so that people would listen to him, and, like, I don't know, like, there's a more obvious route to go there. Let's see, I'm trying to think, how would her hair, like, let's see.
Build your brain with words and craziness should you watch this series.
What?
Yes, please watch it if you haven't already. Going forward, there will be spoilers, so leave now and watch the anime, read the Wraith arc, and then watch the third movie. There's a lot more than that, but that's all you'll need for this video if you're looking to come back later. Also, before you go, make sure to subscribe. I'm still pretty early into my career, so any help is appreciated. And yes, I will still be saying these lines until I hit my 10th video. I'm gonna ride that early channel wave until I die. But without further ado, let's get into the anime.
Fun fact, the main character in the original Faust had 0 consequences for his actions. I think I read in my, like, Christian school, we read a Faust story. I don't know, but it was basically a story of somebody who made a deal with a devil, with a demon. I think it was specifically like Mephistopheles or something like that. I don't really know, but he made a deal with a demon, and the demon was like, hey, buddy, so I will provide you all of your earthly desires. You will be rich, you will be famous, you will have women fawning over you. I promise you all these things. But at the end of these several years, your soul belongs to me and goes to hell. And the guy's like, yeah, that sounds great. And the demon's like, no, your soul is going to hell. And the guy's like, oh no, it's fine. Yeah, go to hell, that's fine. And then so years go by, all that stuff, whoop-de-doo. The demon comes again and is like, hey, so your time's pretty much up. Let me give you a little preview of what you're gonna be experiencing for all eternity. And the guy, like, is horrified, and he's like, oh, please don't take my soul. And the demon's like, look, I kept my end of the bargain. What's your fucking problem? And genuinely, like, it's supposed to be, like, a tale of, like, oh, don't trust the devil. But I was just mostly like, fucker couldn't keep his end of the bargain. Like, I don't know. The demon was pretty explicit in what was gonna happen. It's kind of the guy's fault, right? Like, a demon didn't trick him in the slightest. What the based demon? Yeah, like, anyway, talking about the anime.
If you've watched my other videos before, you'll know that we have a structure to these, which goes over the plot points that I find relevant, a character analysis, and then I do a bit of critique. But before we get into it, I just wanted to say, god damn, this shit was downright diabolically disastrous.
What?
As a kid, I was already aware that this was a darker show thanks to some buddies telling me about it, so fast forward into the future when I became a bigger, tougher, manlier man, I just thought to myself, how bad could it possibly be? Let's see. Yeah, it was quite dark. So let's start this off by...
What do you mean? Like, okay. Demon just trying to make his quota. Yeah. No, but, I don't... God, I don't understand this, like, oh, it's actually really dark. Like, as somebody who rewatched it recently, like, I mean, yeah, it's fucked up, but, like, I don't know, maybe I'm just, like, desensitized that I don't really understand the, oh, it's actually so dark and fucked up. Just because, like, I feel like that's not a productive way to talk about media, you know? Like, when Taco P's Original Sin had, like, its anime adaptation, I can speak, like, some people were talking about, like, oh, it's so dark and fucked up, and it's like, it's a story about, like, the cycle of abuse and, like, how all of these children have been systematically failed and how that affects them and their moral development. Because these are, like, literal elementary schoolers, and it goes into some extremely dark places, absolutely. But that doesn't make it like, oh, it's so dark, oh, I'm never gonna recover from this. It's like, no, it's a story that ultimately has a happy ending because Taco P came in and, like, he was the intervention that those children needed, you know? And so I feel like talking about media as, like, oh, it's so dark, it'll fuck you up, is just not, it doesn't do anything, really.
Discussing our main character, Madoka, the character who can, in fact, beat Goku. God, I can already see the comments. Madoka is...
What, you have to... I don't know. Something about this editing style, I think, I just don't like. Which is unfortunate, and I feel kind of like a jerk for that, but whatever.
Is the "with this treasure I summon" character of this universe.
What?
Throughout the entire bloody anime, Madoka is constantly being whisked away by the idea of becoming a magical girl to save someone. She's the type of character who would throw their life away to save the life of someone they literally just met, and just on that fact alone, we can deduce that she's a character who lacks self-esteem. In fact, the very first scene...
I'm sorry, what was that?
The type of character who would throw their life away to save the life of someone they literally just met, and just on that fact alone, we can deduce that she's a character who lacks self.
No aura. I can't exactly place it. What this feeling I have is, why this kind of pisses me off, but it certainly does. Look, man, I don't know anything about Dragon Ball, so I'm inherently biased against, like, Goku can be such and such. I also don't care. I think people get way too annoying about, like, power scaling shit. Let's see, how would her hands, like, it kind of is like, whoa, and the necktie appears, like, whoa. Or maybe, like, choo. Sorry, I was doing the action, because that's how I storyboard shit in my head. But, like, do you guys see the flow of it? So, like, he like, pops out of the egg, and then, like, a little ribbon thingy, like, pew, and then it ties, like, the dress up in the little waistband. How is selflessness equal to low self-esteem? Yeah, I don't... This is weird. This is a weird reading of the show.
Esteem. In fact, the very first scene is portraying Madoka considering throwing her life away.
Okay, no, you cannot... That is not what is happening in the first scene. It's not Madoka throwing her life away. It is Madoka seeing the fucking apocalypse. And Kyubey says, you can change this. And Madoka makes a wish to defeat Walpurgis Not. That is not Madoka throwing her life away. Like, it is ultimately because we, the audience, knows what happens at, like, after a first walkthrough, but that is not what is happening in this scene. We're only 7 minutes in? Oh, sweet mother of Neptune. I dropped something. Oh my god.
She traverses a dream where she watches Homer fight the Walpurgis Nacht that would kill them Wait. She traverses a dream where she watches Homer fight the Walpurgis Nacht.
Is that like the correct way you pronounce it, or was he just kind of being a troll about it? Because I know people do that. Now, apparently, fucking scam bully reviews with his Walpurgis, and it's like, they literally say it. They literally say, Walpurgis Nacht. Nacht meaning night. Walpurgis being like, oh, like witches and shit. It's not that hard.
That would kill Madoka in previous timelines. I'm so sorry for my pronunciation if it's wrong.
Oh. Okay. But also, wait, you just mentioned timelines and shit. You gotta explain that. You can't just be like, we're talking. It's been a whole hour! Are you kidding me? Oh my god. I don't know if that's because of my ability to continuously blabber on, or this dude's just saying a lot of dumb shit.
That would kill Madoka in previous timelines.
Okay, but, like, you can't just mention, oh, the previous timelines when you haven't mentioned that there are multiple timelines at all! You gotta talk about the characters and how they do the journey before you get to, like, the big things.
I'm so sorry for my pronunciation if it's wrong. Madoka is asked by Kyubei to make a contract to become a magical girl to save Homura before she is woken up. Funnily enough, in episode 10, this is explained as a vision from the previous timeline, which could be foreshadowing for Madoka's powers of transcending time, seeing as she not only witnessed, but also retained the memory of an event that had happened in a completely separate timeline. Right after this,
I don't think that's what it is. That kind of thing, you don't think he'll be mad at you after he gave you permission, do you? I don't know if he'll even check this out, but, I mean, he shouldn't be mad. And if anything, and I do, okay, so if this guy, let me scroll down, if Senhyaku is watching this, like, I do not want this to be a personal attack on you. Because I don't know you, you don't know me, and we're just passing strangers on the internet. This is not a personal attack on you. This is a personal attack on your extremely limited opinions, I think. No, that's... I don't know. I find the framing in this video very strange. I find just the insertion of a bunch of Gen Z, I guess, language odd. I don't know. I don't know. And we're nowhere near the end, so let's just buckle down or something. I don't know.
She meets Homura for the first.
Anyway, but I don't think it's like Madoka retained memories of the previous timeline being like foreshadowing to her becoming God. I think it was more so kinda, it's like the Higurashi effect. In Higurashi, the more that Rika loops, the more like other characters around her will sort of have a familiar feeling about certain events. They will somewhat remember, but not fully. And that's what happened with Madoka. She didn't entirely remember the circumstances, but she remembered she knew Homura somehow. And that's all that really needs to be explained. It's less about consistent logic and more so to create this dreamy atmosphere, this surreal, like, what is going on, we don't know kind of thing, if that makes any sense. Seeing this, like, pew. Okay, come on.
First time in school, who casually carries herself around like the main protagonist she is. Homura's strange. As we know, she's a lot...
She's not... Okay.
Smarter than she lets off, knowing things about the world that even the other girls don't. Homura's goal is to stop Madoka from becoming a magical girl, which is like trying to stop a kid from putting a fork into an outlet. You can't. Just give up. They'll be fine. Don't worry. Trust me. You can trust me. You should give me your money. Not only that,
I do think that's a funny bit. Congrats for that. Like, that's a funny bit. You should give me your money. But also, no, I don't trust you because so far you have also kind of shows an extreme, like, unwillingness to do any amount of research, considering he thought the manga came first, when it extremely did not. And I don't know. I don't, like, somebody who isn't willing to put in the effort to, like, I don't know, learn about a subject they're discussing isn't really worth listening to.
that, but being stuck in a time loop for God knows how long trying to stop the inevitable.
You haven't mentioned the time loop. Also him saying, oh, it's like trying to stop a kid putting a fork in an outlet. It's called an outlet cover. I'm sorry, that's nitpicking. I don't like this.
Just about anyone. Madoka and Sayaka would meet a magical girl named Mami who would teach them the ways of living in her world. She's meant to be a sort of teacher to these characters, and at first, it seems like this kind of life is well worth having any wish come true.
Yeah,
And this is
episode
where the
3.
show spirals into chaos.
Is it
At
chaos?
the time of its release, we would just assume that this was a nice little show, but with the opening and ending even showing slice of life shenanigans.
So, and this is actually like a very, very interesting thing. Because I watched Madoka Magica with 2 friends, one of which being Raven Wolfie. Everyone should know them by now. And Raven's analysis on it was like, this is very interesting to watch after years of hearing people talk about it, because like they expected the show to hide what it is. But no! Episode 1! It's not hidden in the slightest!
Which is something that the beloved JJK would adopt as well. But in reality...
What the beloved JJK... What are you... Stop making references to other anime for no goddamn reason! Why are you saying these things? You have to work with it. You're not explaining anything. You're not letting the viewer understand what's going on.
This was a story about the struggle of fate and the tragedy awaiting those who deemed themselves to be heroes.
Mama's an interesting character. She's the only one who can admit she's holding up a front the whole time, and she helps showcase through her emotions just how disastrous of a life she's chosen. She's completely alone, and the world of magical girls is extremely dangerous. It's why she tries to convince Madoka and Sayaka to become magical girls like her. She's losing her mind doing a thankless job and...
Okay, no, let's hold up. Mommy is not trying to, like, get them to be magical girls. She knows that Madoka and Sayaka have the potential to be magical girls, and she doesn't want them to do it on their own like she had to. It is also important that, like, there is this background story of Mami and Kyoko used to be friends. They used to work together. But then Kyoko's dad did a murder-suicide, and Kyoko's outlook changed completely, leaving Mami alone. And Mami, we see her struggle with the position she is in. Yes, she wants Madoka and Sayaka to be magical girls so that she can have people who will watch her back and fight alongside her. But she also does not want to pointlessly lead them into a dangerous life. Yeah, Mommy didn't really choose her role. She used her wish to save her life. And it's just the whole thing, I don't know, a lot of this framing is very strange. I don't like it.
So having people as bright as Madoka and Sayaka are a much needed breath of fresh air for her. Mami's death, despite how little exposition she got, does hit. Just not in the way that some of the audience thinks that it should.
What?
While it might not hit in the way that it's sad, it's meant to be more of a shock factor kind of thing. The fact that we are witnessing the loss of innocence and the death of another child through the lens of other children is incredibly messed up.
Wait, stop.
Not only
Pause. I don't think the show is making any kind of explicit commentary on, like, the death of children. I mean, you know, Mommy's death would have been horrifying even if they were in their 20s. I highly doubt the show tricked fans of kids' shows when it was airing because there are usually a lot of precautions in place to make sure kids aren't watching a show not intended for them. Yeah, I don't know. This is
But this is the moment that we realize that nobody here is going to have a happy ending. This event would...
Well, I think it's... No, nobody here is going to have a happy ending. Shut up. The show's ending is bittersweet and poignant. It's more so... But, like, Mommy's death is not, like, oh, nobody's going to have a happy ending. It's more so, oh, this character that we thought was a main character died. Like, that's the shocking part. Like, we thought this was the mentor character. Then she was gonna be along in the series. And then, nope, she haunts the narrative.
Would be the start of this timeline's descent, with our next victim in all of this being Sayaka. Honestly, out of all the characters, Sayaka's fate is probably the most tragic of them. She's one of the most naive amongst their main cast, second only to Madoka, which makes her a prime target for Kyubei's manipulation. Kyubei's entire goal at this point in the story is to get Madoka to become a magical girl to meet the universe's quota for energy. So influencing the person closest to Madoka to become a magical girl is honestly one of the more logical ways of going about it. As soon as Sayaka ends up becoming a magical girl, she learns the truth behind what's happened to her. Her soul's become enslaved to Kyubei's agenda, and there's literally nothing.
No, okay, what? Enslaved to Kyubei's agenda. Like, I guess that's a way you could phrase it. But more specifically, like, it's the fact that her soul was taken from her body and given a physical form. That's the main thing. The soul gem is not, like, because, like, she could, like, stop fighting witches. That's whatever. But, like, you know what? Actually, wait a minute. So the whole thing with soul gems is like it uses up magic to maintain a magical girl's physical form. So if a magical girl gets injured and then healed, then, like, that's using up magic. And we see in Mitsune Miwa's story. Hi, sorry, bringing that up again. Yeah, Madoka is not naive. She's just 14. Like, she's a 14-year-old girl. I don't know. No, but 14-year-olds are inherently naive because, fucking whatever. Like, I don't know. But so, like, the magical girls, okay. So magical girls use magic to maintain their bodies. However, you could also still maintain your body by living as you did before. So theoretically, this slowly get tainted over time. Yeah. So I guess they do. Well, but, like, do they get tainted just, like, over time, or do they get tainted because of the use of magic? So in the case of Mitsune Miwa from Magia Record, like, she wanted to destroy the glamorized idea of magical girls in her head, so she became a magical girl and then didn't do shit. She stayed up all night playing video games and eating junk food and all that stuff. So her magic was actively maintaining her body since she wasn't doing the things her body typically needs. What if she didn't? Like, what if she, I don't know. This is a dumb hypothetical. I'm going to continue.
Thing she can do. It's devastating, especially since she had just transitioned into a magical girl only a couple days prior to this information. Sayaka tried to phrase her wish in a way that's selfless, but when the consequences come crushing down, it's apparent that
What? Phrase her wish in a way that's selfless? What?
In this self-narrative of trying to be the just, caring, and altruistic one, she ultimately makes mistakes that harm her more than anyone else. This narrative of putting others before you being a catalyst for bad things happening continues to make itself relevant throughout the story.
What?
For example, the moments when Sayaka killed a degenerate man on the train. Yes, she did kill them in my mind because the manga showed blood dripping from her sword, so I'm going with that. Sayaka killing them can most definitely be seen as a form of justice, but it was at the cost of her sanity. By killing them...
You know, I've heard a lot of really maintain their corpse and deteriorates faster based on bad mental space. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Okay, so magic keeps the soul gem connected to the body. So, okay, so they would have to go witch hunting eventually. Got it. Yeah, it maintained their core. Well, I wouldn't say... I don't know, but, like, yeah. I've heard a lot of incorrect takes about Sayaka. This one is unique. I don't know. So, no, they can't just stop fighting witches. Okay, well, I don't know, man. If I was a magical girl, I'd like experiment a little bit. Like, okay, what are the limits of this? How do we go from da-da-da, you know? Like, how do you... I want to know the limits. Come on. Let's see. Had little shoes. But, I'm sorry, what was... Okay, let me go back. I'm so confused.
Especially since she had just transitioned into a magical girl only a couple days prior to this information. Sayaka tried to phrase her wish in a way that's selfless, but when the consequences...
So, okay, Sayaka wasn't actively trying to phrase her wish in a way that makes it selfless. It's more so, like, she wanted to know if she could make a wish for other... Well, I mean, theoretically, no, they don't have to eat, probably, but that probably uses up a lot of magic. But Sayaka wanted to know if it was allowed or if that was a good thing. To which Mommy tells her, you need to think about whether or not that wish is really for somebody else or if you're doing it because you expect something in return. And, like, I don't know, Sayaka... and think about it, too. Like, Sayaka is visiting Kyosuke in the hospital, and then he gets frustrated and lashes out and says, like, the only way my hand is going to be fixed is through a miracle, and that doesn't exist. And then Sayaka says, no, miracles and magic are real. It's kind of the title of the episode. And because she knows that miraculous things exist in the world and that she could do something miraculous. So, and it's in that moment that Kyubey appears in the hospital window. So, like, it's less of... So she, in that moment, that is when she decides to use her wish for Kyosuke to heal his arm, and for him to be able to play again, because she wanted to hear him play his violin, because that's what he did. And it's amazing that people kind of forget that, like, Kyosuke isn't just a random boy she has a crush on. It is literally, like, a childhood friend. Ah! Anyway. What?
Come crushing down. It's apparent that in this self-narrative of trying to be the just, caring, and altruistic one, she ultimately makes mistakes that harm her more than anyone.
Could she do something miraculous like a ladybug? Oh, if only there were a way. I don't know. I find, like... And the whole bit with Sayaka is Sayaka had an image of Mommy in her head. That Mommy was this cool, just warrior of protecting people. She saw Mommy stop a suicide. She saw Mommy kill witches that would end up killing other people. And it's oh, that's funny. And so that is where Sayaka gets this idea of, like, magical girls live to be warriors of justice. And then she meets... And Homura also kind of pisses her off because, like... I don't know. Like, Sayaka is a very reactive person. She's stubborn and she's reactive. But that doesn't mean she's a bad person or anything. It's just like... I don't know. I don't know. Something about this phrasing is bothering me, and I don't exactly know what it is.
Else. This narrative of putting others before you being a catalyst for bad things happening continues to make itself relevant throughout the story. For example, the moments when Sayaka killed a degenerate man on the train. Yes, she did kill them in my mind because the manga showed blood dripping from his sword.
The manga's not the original. The manga came after and took many liberties, if you couldn't tell by the different designs of the soul gems and weapons. It's so funny that no matter what Homura does, shy or confident, Sayaka does not vibe with her. Yeah, I've only ever heard people talk about Sayaka and never Kyosuke. Well, I don't know, man. Yeah, no, Sayaka does not vibe with Homura, and I think that's very funny.
So
also, the manga, again, not the original, so stop.
Going with that. Sayaka killing them can most definitely be seen as a form of justice, but it was at the cost of her sanity. By killing them, she's just traded in her chance at living with any sort of solace. Murder's not a light crime to witness.
What? Wait, okay, whoa, what?
And it's an even harder crime to come to terms with after committing. Her sense of justice is strong, but her emotions are stronger, and it's depressing to see how it all ends up going downhill from here.
What is he trying to... Manga less canon. No one cares about Violin Boy. I care about Violin Boy. I'm confused. What are you... So... No. Sayaka's, like... She was getting kind of like... Sayaka was stuck in her own head. She couldn't really accept anybody else's, like, point of view. She was convinced that she herself was right about everything. And that, like... And, like, to be fair, like, she was protecting people, you know? But, and then what I think it is, like, the idea that she, by killing witches, protected douchebags like those guys on the train. Kyosuke is not a bad person. He's barely... Okay, he's barely a character. Like, let's be real. Kyosuke isn't a bad person. Okay? He is a child. He's a 14-year-old boy who had a promising career playing violin and then had some kind of injury, some kind of accident that crippled him. He cannot play violin ever again. So, like, of course he was a little moody about it. Like, duh, yeah. And just because he didn't get together with Sayaka is not his fault, because firstly, he didn't owe Sayaka anything. He never knew that Sayaka made a wish to fix his arm. Like, he never knew that. And also, Sayaka never told him. And also, Sayaka never told him how she feels. So what the hell was he supposed to do about any of it? Like, Yeah, he's a little dumb. He's a guy. What do you expect?
Her killing them to enact justice just dragged her deeper into nihilism.
What does that mean? No, stop. She killed them because she was literally in the middle of, like, basically turning into a witch. And how does this relate to nihilism? What?
To emphasize even more on this scene though, it can be seen as a sort of loss of innocence. Sayaka already feels like she's being used, and to hear that it's not only like that in the world that she's trapped in, but also the world that she would have continued to live in fucks her up. Her worldview is being altered here, and she's being introduced to the ideas of misogyny. It's, to be quite frank, disturbing.
What? I'm trying to... See, anyway, how's this look so far? The little transformation, like, panels or stuff, you know? Like, so we got magic egg. Yeah. Egg. And then... And it's like, whoa! And or I don't know. Remind me how in Ogemagedorime you can heal wounds but have to have the injury itself. Yeah. Oh, thank you. But also Ogemagedorime is based in every way possible.
He's becoming more nihilistic by the moment. Hearing these men say that women end up as bitches closely relates to the newfound revelation that magical girls end up as witches, with both being tied to impurities.
That... I don't know how I feel about that, but I know I'm not really a fan. So, like, making the direct thing of, like, oh, witches, bitches, whatever, like, okay, that's a connection, I guess. But, moreover, it's, I don't think that's specifically what was going through Sayaka's head in that moment. I think he was just having a little mental breakdown, a little menti breaky, and hearing just the worst people imaginable, like, I don't know, kind of set her off. I don't know, and honestly, that's something that I have to think about, because there's a lot in Madoka Magica about, like, gender and about girls and women and, like, in a way that's hard to parse out what it's really saying. So I need to, like, think about it. I need to think about it and, like, go through the series again and, like, analyze that, because there's, like, I don't know. It's hard to, like, put properly into words. No, I do want the hard brush, but I just want to make it a little softer. Yeah, there we go. I don't know. In
both situations, once the person is used up in the eyes of the perpetrator, they're tossed away. I can't blame her for killing them. She's like 14 and has no idea how to handle her emotions, with seemingly no parental figures around to save her from her own mind. Yes, being 14 doesn't excuse someone for murder, but these are some extremely specific circumstances.
Why are we like, oh, being 14 doesn't excuse some... I also love the Aiko episode. She misses her father because he always... Yeah. It feels like he's getting too specific. Sayaka's just seeing the people she protects suck. Exactly. Sayaka is seeing that the people that she traded her life away to protect are a bunch of douchebags. And it's, I don't know. But also, why are we talking about, being 14 doesn't excuse murder? It's like nobody was saying that. She's literally, like, in the middle of becoming a witch. I don't think she was in a good headspace. Haha, thank you, Cake. Yeah, quit witching around. Yeah, let's go, witches. It's like, oh, man. You could put another word there.
That are the result of the supernatural occurring. Maybe I'm reading into it too much, but
yes!
I do believe that this is one of the most important scenes in the show, and also one of my personal favorites. But before we continue, let's go over our other main character, Kyoko. Kyoko has one of the more traumatic pasts in this group, second only to Homura. As a kid, she loved her family to the fullest, and so she, like Sayaka, made a selfless wish to help her family prosper, only for it to backfire on her. Her father would learn of how he never actually succeeded in his sermons, and how it was all just the work of what he'd consider the devil.
So do consider, I don't think that, like, I don't know, I don't think Kyoko's wish was, I wish people would listen to my father. I feel like it was probably more along the lines of, I wish people would give his teachings a chance. And, like, I don't know, I feel like it's fundamentally, like, it's different. It's a little different. I don't know.
To be fair, he's not very far off. As a result of this realization, he'd end up killing himself and his family, leaving only Kyoko to witness the carnage left behind. This is exactly why she hides the core part of her character that cares a lot more. There's a lot of trauma circulating through her mind, and so she can't really bring herself to be open to others. Not only that, but she can't help but see a bit of her past self in Sayaka, and so by fighting Sayaka, she showcases a lot of her own self-hatred. It's the person she really is, and it's someone that got her into the position she's in, so she opts to live as selfishly as possible, stealing food and experiencing her life in a way that she deems the fullest. So when Sayaka turns into a witch, Kyoko decides to show compassion by dying alongside her, showing love to the person who felt impure in those final moments despite it being a futile act.
I don't quite enjoy the discussion of like purity here. Like, I understand literally in the text, like, soul gems, like, gain impurities. They're supposed to be bright and nice and shiny, but then they get dirty, and that's impure. But, like, I don't know. I don't vibe with... It's pretty clear these aliens give these things to kids because their worldviews are smaller, so it makes them so it is easier for them to make wishes that are bad choices. I don't quite think that's it. I think, I don't know, there's a lot that can be analyzed and discussed, of course, when talking about Madoka Magica. I feel like some people get a little too in the weeds about it. Like this one thing that said, like, oh, this story is about child exploitation. And I'm like, I don't think it's, like, specifically about child exploitation. That is certainly a thing you could extrapolate from it. But I don't think that is, like, the intended message we as an audience are supposed to take. I think it's just kind of a tragic set of circumstances that these characters are in and are forced to navigate through. I don't think it's specifically, yeah, women are fucking relegated as objects in society, especially considering who wrote Madoka Magica. Yeah, so I always took it as impurities equals depression, cling equals happy. Well, obviously, yeah, that's the general, like, gist of, like, how soul gem stuff works. But it's like, I don't know how to put it. Words are hard. Yeah. Kyoko's sacrifice as a way of sharing the burden of Sayaka's guilt as the person she truly understands the most. Exactly. Like, Kyoko didn't just kill herself for funsies. She was literally saying, like, I get you, I know that it's hard and it hurts, but you don't have to be alone anymore because I'm here with you. And then we get, and I'm home, and I fucking cry. Ah! But, like, so what it is, so what Kyubey explains it as is, like, what they need to create the energy in order to stop entropy is, like, it's like a supernova. Before a star dies, there's a big burst of energy, and then it's gone. So Kyubey explains that the energy that is created from the moment hope turns into despair is what keeps the universe running. And so that's what he's after. And he explains that they find the greatest fluctuations of hope and despair in 14-year-old girls. And we can have a discussion about the implications of that all goddamn day. But what I mainly, like, care about is, like, that's, I don't know, as a former 14-year-old girl, sucks. That shit sucks. No one has it harder than 14-year-old girls. Everyone else, shut up. That is a joke. Let's be clear. That's a joke. But so... And so I don't completely hate Kyubei's reasoning. You also have to remember this was 2011, and, you know, some forms of sexism were a little more, like, accepted than others. But... So, like, that's the whole bit. That's why Kyubei goes after teenage girls. So here's the thing. Here's the thing to remember, too. The teenage girls are the target because this is, like, some kind of commentary or subversion or something of magical girls. And magical girl protagonists are normally, like, 12, 13, 14. That's why the characters in this series are aged that, because that's, like, the average age for a magical girl character. And I feel like a lot of people kind of forget that fact. As much as I do not think Madoka Magica destroyed the magical girl genre, it is undeniable that it plays into the tropes, the established tropes of the genre at the time, and twists them, plays around with them. 'Cause, like, yeah, what if the cute mascot character, the magical girl that follows the magical girls around, was actually didn't have their best interests at heart? That's a fun concept, and Madoka Magica does something with that concept, rather than just have it as the base premise and then let it languish away. So, I feel like when people say Madoka Magica is about the exploitation of young girls, I feel like they're extrapolating a little too much. You can, like, look at it through that lens, but I do not think that is what the show itself was going for. And I think that's a very important distinction to have when discussing analysis. If that makes any sense. Let's see, how's that just look? That's fine, yeah.
People do irrational things out of care, and Kyoko's act was a microcosm for the sacrifice that Madoka would do for the entire universe.
What?
After all of this, Kyubei talks with Madoka, and oh boy, are you gonna hear me yap my brain out about this thing. Kyubei is one of my favorite antagonists, period. He's an absolute piece of shit, but he's completely incapable of understanding that. He's a utilitarian, and so the sacrifice of a tiny portion of a lower life form's population pool is sensible to him. Emotions aren't a thing that exists to them. The only way forward is through cold, hard facts. If you know me, you know that Bondrewd is one of my favorite antagonists of all time, so obviously Kyubei had to be a runner-up for one of my favorites too. The biggest difference to me is how they actually react to what they do. Bondrewd is a character that has been shown to care for others, albeit in a very strange and illogical way, whereas Kyubei just doesn't give a single shit about anyone and disappears. They both have the reasons for what—
Stop with the fucking transitions! It's also the plot of Bokura no in a magical girl font. I've heard of Bokura no. I need to look it up. Bokura no omoi o zenbu hanasenai o zenbu na 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 sore ga hirotsu kuitemoi o zenbu nakusenai o zenbu. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. It is about a group of middle school students who, under the pretense of participating in a game, agree to the task of piloting a giant mecha in a series of battles where the survival of Earth is dependent on their continuing to win, and they gradually realize how high the stakes of this supposed game. Yep. Yep, that's the same plot. I know they are teen girls because it's magical girls, but I prefer Watsonian explanations. I'm sorry, I have to look that up. I can never remember Watsonian explanation. I have to look it up. I'm sorry. The in-universe sense formed. Okay, so Watsonian... Yeah. Okay. So Doyleist is the out-of-universe reason for things in stories, and Watsonian is the in-universe reason. Cool, got it. Anyway, wait, what was this guy saying?
They do, but Bondra does something that...
Right, so Kyubey. I adore Kyubey as an antagonist because for the most part, he is an alien. He is incapable of understanding human emotions. And therefore, his morality is different than everybody else's. And I don't think that makes him evil. I think he does, like, it's interesting. And the problem, because Watson is a character and Doyle is the author. Nice. But people, I don't know. For me, and rewatching the series, Kyubey, I think it might have been a product of, like, the English dub, but Kyubey's language is rather harsh at some times. Like, that one line of, like, if you ever feel like dying for the sake of the universe, call me. It's like, oh my god, buddy, what the fuck are you on about? But like, okay. So, it's just, like, I don't think Kyubey is, like, being malicious until the Rebellion movie. That's, for me, when Kyubey is like, okay, buddy, hold the phone. Because, like, they have a system that works. Magical girls fight wraiths, right? And Kyubey hears Homura talking, which, by the way, Homura, maybe you shouldn't have told him about that shit. Kyubey learns of this other way, this other system, and works to create it, knowing it will cause the suffering of others. So that's when I draw the line against Kyubey, but, like, whatever. You gotta admit, Cake, that rat comes off as quite antagonistic and creepy. No, it is true, but, like, I don't know. I think I could vibe with Kyubey. Honestly, if I was a magical girl, which I am, like, I'd be more like, wait, so, like, you're an alien. Like, you're, like, because I'd be like, where do you come from? And, you know, eventually I'd get the answers, and I'm like, so you're an alien? How, like, tell me about that. What does your society look like? I'd be so fucking fascinated by it. Like, so you're an alien. Like, how do you have the capacity for magic? You can make magic happen. How does that work? How does that work scientifically? That's really cool. I do wish more characters in the Madoka universe, like, learned about all that stuff and learned about, like, and, like, exhibited more curiosity towards it all, you know? Because, like, I'm sorry, give me a magical girl. Give me... Rebellion Kyubey's a capitalist. True. Give me a magical girl who is, like, obsessed with aliens, and then Kyubey at some point says, like her wish is, oh, I want to meet an alien, and then Kyubey's like, oh, I think I'm what you consider an alien, and she's just like, what? So, I don't know, something like that. What? I've gotten off topic.
Kyubey doesn't. Self-awareness. Also, Kyubey is a liar. He lies by omission, which is by not stating all the facts that the other party needs to know. He's aware that this is especially easy to do to children, and so he utilizes it to the maximum. He grooms these children into becoming magical girls, and when they learn of the truth, he blames it on them for being stupid enough to be tricked.
Okay.
It's disgusting.
I don't... Again, not a fan of the language being used particularly. Of course, Kyubey is the villain. Kyubey is he is an antagonistic force, but he isn't the villain. The villain is the system that he has created, which I guess does, like, kind of make him the villain, but that's not the point. I don't know. I'm not a fan of him framing this as Kyubey is, like, a misogynistic, like metaphor or something. It's Something about that makes me uncomfortable. Kyubey builds an AI center powered by magical girls. Fuck, dude.
Yet incredibly brilliant how Urobuchi essentially created a main antagonist who closely relates to sexual offenders. I mean, shit.
What? Whoa!
Being stupid enough to be tricked. It's disgusting yet incredibly brilliant how Urobuchi essentially created a main antagonist who closely relates to sexual offenders. I mean,
Kyubey closely relates to sexual offenders? Okay, now it just feels like this dude wanted to make a Madoka Magica video, but he wanted to have a different opinion from everybody else, and he's just pulling things out of his ass. What the fuck does that mean? Like, what the hell? Kyubey's an equal opportunity manipulator.
Shit, look at Sayaka's reaction when she learned that her soul's been separated from her body. She basically calls herself unworthy of Kyosuke because of what's happened to her. It's disturbing.
No, okay, no, stop. No. So what he just said there was like, compared Kyubey, or related him to sexual predators, and then look at how Sayaka reacted. She basically thinks she's not good for Kyosuke because of what happened to her. And it's like, no. No. Sayaka thinks she can't be with Kyosuke because she sees herself as non-human. That's the sorry, my god damn it, my boobs keep like flipping my phone on the desk. That's not. I think you're taking this like so far off track. It's not Madoka Magica is a very deep series. There were lots of metaphors and symbolism and a lot of complex character arcs and how they intertwine and loop back together and all that stuff. And I really hate saying this, but in this instance, it's not that deep. Oh, man. Sorry, dude. Bye, though. Thank you for coming, as always. I've seen an argument that what Kyubey is doing is more related to drug addiction, and I think that's more applicable. I don't think Kyubey is, like, I don't think he can easily be mapped onto any form of exploitation or anything like that, because this is another thing, like, he is non-human. He does not have the same, like, values or morals. And, like, we can't keep mapping what we think onto him because that simply doesn't work. I find Kyubey's logic to be fascinating because it is so alien. And it's like, I'm sorry, can we hear that shit again?
Incredibly brilliant how Urobuchi essentially created a main antagonist who closely relates to sexual offenders. I mean, shit, look at Sayaka's reaction when she learned that her soul's been separated from her body. She basically calls herself unworthy of Kyosuke because of what's happened to her. It's
So he's basically saying that Kyubey like, metaphorically sexually assaulted Sayaka? I don't like this. I think this is way off base, and I don't know. It feels really gross. I don't understand where this kind of take is even coming from. I understand, like, some people think, like, so here's the thing. Kyubey is a lot closer to the actual inspiration Magical Girl companions, yeah. Magical Girl Narco Wars. Well, I mean, consider, like, that's about a cop, like, fucking... Hey, as somebody in America who, like, you know, the war on drugs, that shit didn't work. Don't do a war on drugs. It's stupid. And also fake and a government psyop or something, I don't fucking know. Anyway, I hate this a lot.
Disturbing. Kyubey is the reason behind why Kyoko sacrificed herself. He knew that Kyoko trying to save Sayaka wouldn't do anything, so he let her attempt it under false pretenses that while it's unlikely to work, it could work if she believed hard enough. Also, Kyubey has even lied to their faces. He clearly states to Madoka here that he intends to let humanity and his kind coexist once the quota for energy is met, but in a timeline where they do meet their quota due to Madoka turning into a witch, he just fucking pieces out. He's incredibly cunning and ruthless.
Okay, like... So Kyubey didn't say, like, oh yeah, we'd be happy to coexist, like, once we meet our quota. Kyubey means, like, they're happy to coexist because, like, of the energy exchange. Because it is technically a mutually beneficial relationship. Magical girls have existed throughout history and the incubators are the reason for a lot of humanity's advancements. And Kyubey benefits because the entire universe continues existing. Like that, I honestly, fair exchange. But it's, but like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay. But, like, I don't think Kyubey... I don't know. Like, when Madoka becomes Kemlin Gretchen, like... I don't think Kyubey... I mean, yeah, he's kind of like, well, that's your problem. But, like... I don't know. That's not really a... I don't know. This... I'm tired.
But, honestly, without the incubators, would the universe still even exist? We have no idea, but this idea of darkness being necessary for life to continue has been an ongoing theme for a long time, with the most common iteration of it being yin and yang.
Oh my god.
Speaking of yin and yang though, let's talk about the two most important characters of this series, Madoka and Homura.
Oh god.
Before we continue, just know that I will be referencing some things that happened in the Wraith arc of this series. It was never animated, so I'm sorry, but you'll have to read it.
That's because the Wraith arc came after the anime. It's an original story.錆びついた心躍らない世界何を見てるのまた絵を植えるかを探すよそれは繰り返すだけ傷れはそこには一人きいておく押す姿つらいような寂しいるな場所手をつないでいたいんだ何度でも気持ちだろうならららららならら間違いっても はあんたなそばにいること何だだらだだらららららななだららららららだら見たい枝道見たい見たい未来 Should I consider making a late vote on a late vid on Madoka at some point? Wait, I might get featured on a cake stream. I'm good. No, like, Look, dude, if you have a take on Madoka Magica, like, I don't know, I can review it. Like, as long as your opinion isn't shit, then you're good. Like, I don't know. And so here's the thing. I'm not saying, like, this is so frustrating. I don't even know how to, like, word what I like, feel right now. Because it is so, like, how does this fucking tool work? I don't understand. I'm trying, I just want to make a curvy bit. I just want to make one curved line. Anyway, what now?
If you want full context. It goes a lot more in depth of Homoda's actions in the movie, and also gives us more context of how Madoka changed the universe, helping us understand why exactly Homoda is as much of a mess as she is in the movie. Anyways, without further ado, let's talk about these.
Well, okay, so, like, we didn't really need an explanation as to why Homura is a mess in the movie. Homura is a mess in the movie because she's literally being kept from the law of cycles. In a world, like, witches are still technically a thing in the new world that Madoka created. It's just the fact that they don't become witches because Madoka, the law of cycles, destroys them before they're born, resulting in magical girls, from their perspective, just disappearing. So, like, to say that you need the Wraith arc manga in order to understand Homura in the movie is just blatantly incorrect. You do not need that context. It's fun. I need to read it again and maybe I'll understand it this time. But, like, what are you talking about?
Let me start off by saying that Homura is not the hero of this story. Her entire purpose is surrounding someone she just met at the point of obsession, but...
Okay, no, shut up. I'm sorry, I should let him.
I can't really say it's her fault. She, like everyone else in the story, was tricked into forming a contract with Kyubey, and unlike everyone else in the story, has been revisiting the deaths of everyone around her over and over. Her reason for living at this point is to save Madoka, and so nobody else matters to her in a way that's objective, as their deaths are inevitable in her eyes.
No, I don't think so. So Homura is, like, it's pretty much like she's an orphan. Like, we don't see her parents. She was in the hospital for a heart condition. She's a sad, lonely, like, self-conscious girl who does not see herself in a positive light. So she meets this girl, Madoka, who is nice to her on her first day of school in a long time. And this girl says, like, your name is really cool. Like, you flare up passionately. And if you feel like you don't match that name, maybe you should become somebody who matches that name. That is showing interest and hope in Homura as a person. And then, when Homura gets trapped in a witch's labyrinth, which was feeding off her pre-existing negative emotions, she is saved by Madoka. And then they spend a month together, Homura learning about magical girls and learning about how Mami and Madoka, like, protect people. And Homura, who does not have any other friends or any other people in her fucking life, becomes enamored with this heroic figure that has also literally saved her life. And so when that figure dies, Homura is like, hey, I could become a magical girl. I'm gonna do that so I can save Miss Madoka. Or Miss Kaname. Sorry, Homura's polite. And then she does. And she learns these things along the way. And eventually it's to the point where, like, if she gives up trying, and she befriends Madoka in those earlier time loops, those earlier times. She befriends Madoka and sees more sides of Madoka and, like, appreciates her more as a person. But like, it gets to a point where she cannot give, if she gives, I'm not exactly sure on how, like, wishes, like, if you give up on your wish, you immediately fall into despair. I don't think that's how it works, especially because, like, in other media, like, Magia Record, like, I know that, Mitama's wish was to be the destroyer of Kamihama, but, like, she doesn't actually do that, and so it's, like, I don't know, but, so anyway, saying, like, oh, Homura is obsessing over this person she just met is, like, the most willful, ignorant misreading of those circumstances. What are you talking about?
Of everyone around her over and over.
Also, no, Homura does very much care about the other characters. She was friends with Mami too. She does not want to be at their throats. It's just that she has to harden herself and has to pretend that she doesn't care in order to keep her own sanity. Like, she cannot worry about whether Sayaka dies, whether or not Mami dies. She can't worry about that, because if she does, then, like, that's just another thing to add to her list of things that stress her the fuck out, things to worry about. It's so... What are you talking about? Anyway.
Her reason for living at this point is to save Madoka, and so nobody else matters to her in a way that's objective, as their deaths are inevitable in her eyes. A misconception that was being thrown around that I myself fell for was that Homura doesn't care about the rest of the group.
Oh, hey, look at that.
So she's not a sociopath in the end, so I don't think that's the case. I just think that she gave up on them because she doesn't believe that it fits in with her goals, on top of the fact that she has limited capabilities on what she can do to begin with. To Homura, their deaths are fated to happen, so why bother getting in the way? After all, the one she made the wish for was Madoka, not them. If she were to give up on Madoka, not only was she inevitably given to the witch's curse, but Madoka's karmic fate would destroy the world, leaving Homura stuck between a rock and a hard place.
I don't... Okay, wait, but she... Plus, like, looking at it logically, Homura knows that Madoka is, like, the impetus to shit getting 50 times worse. Pretty sure Kyoko rejected her wish in the side stories about her and Mami. Yeah, so... I don't know. I forgot, like, what I was... I don't know. Like, Homura doesn't know about Madoka's karmic destiny, her fate, the fact that her time looping has made Madoka the strongest witch ever. She doesn't know that until the very end. I don't know. This is weird.
But even after Madoka makes her decision to become a magical girl, with her even ascending to become a principal of the world, Homura never lets go of her. It's horrific how much abuse this girl's gone through. Madoka is her everything, so with her existing everywhere but also completely out of reach, I can only imagine how tortured she must feel. Madoka exists outside a point of time now. History is being rewritten, and so Homura can't stop Madoka from making the sacrifice. Not only that, but she trades in her time manipulation for memory manipulation magic before the events of the Wraith arc, which just sends her plummeting into nihilism due to her losing her mind over what's real and what isn't. Homura's insanity being on full blast during the Wraith arc was actually heartbreaking. She's even more alone in this whole Madoka ordeal than she was before, and her questioning whether it was all just in her head was tragic, yet extremely well done. It's that soul-crushing realization that everything you've known so far could have just been based on lies, and it's very much akin to when Sayaka's worldview got flipped.
I don't... Homura is gay and only wants Madoka. This is the only reading I'll accept. True. I'm So, you cannot discuss the Wraith arc in... You have to talk about it as its own thing. It is not, like... I don't know. Like, that's not how that works. The Wraith arc is not the planned continuation of the story that was Madoka Magica. It was added on... When did it come out? Give me a moment. Madoka Magica Wraith arc. If I could hit the correct keys. Serialized manga from 2015 to 2016. It is not the original vision of the story. So you cannot use it as evidence for whatever the fuck you're saying. Because I don't know what you're saying. Like, it doesn't make any sense. You have not said a singular, like, concrete statement in this entire video. We are 18 minutes in and you just, like, you're not really saying anything. You're not saying anything that's based on the show as you watched it. You're just kind of... I don't know how to, like, properly articulate this, but it's like, dude, what the hell?
To me, this was probably one of the most depressing moments, especially this page right here where we can see the moment she came to that conclusion. Her desire to remember Madoka was both a miracle and a curse in these moments. Now let's talk more about with this treasure I summoned. Madoka, despite
what?
Weak will...
What? Why? Why are you making a Jujutsu Kaisen reference? What is the point of that? What does that do? How does that further your analysis of the story? I don't understand why you keep doing that. Let's see, that is a Jujutsu Kaisen thing, right? I remember Megumi doing that, but... What the hell?
Nature isn't ever fully in the wrong. The mistakes she makes are mostly due to her lack of understanding of what's going on around her, which is entirely Kyubei's fault. She's been raised by a loving family, and so she's extremely compassionate to an unhealthy degree. Despite
she's not compassionate. Wait, what is he about to say?
Other characters' strengths being solely about how selfish they are, Madoka, the most selfless of them, stands at the pinnacle of them all,
No. Wait, what?
only due to the selfishness of Homura.
Homura's not Whoa! Homura is not selfish. Like, you can make arguments that some of her actions are selfish, but it's also, saying that Madoka is like this paragon of selflessness, I also don't really vibe with. Because Madoka's whole thing is that she is a normal girl. She is a girl who honestly doesn't have a lot of self-confidence. She isn't particularly good at anything. She doesn't have a particularly outstanding personality. But guess what? That's fine. Because all Madoka needed to be was a nice person to Homura when Homura needed it. And that's what Madoka was, and that's what, like, ignited this hope in Homura, this need to save people. That's why Homura is constantly saying to Madoka in all the different timelines, You do not need to change who you are. You do not need to become anybody else other than who you are right now, because who you are right now is fine. It's saying it's okay to be a normal person. You don't have to be extraordinary. You don't have to be talented. You don't have to be any of these other things in order to be somebody worth existing. What is your problem, guy? You don't do research. Oh my god, wait, Fafnir, you're here. I gotta tell you, earlier this dude, compared Cube to, like, sexual offenders. In how he manipulates young girls and shit. And that is just, like, I gotta, if I had to hear that fuck-ass take, so do you. This is incredible. Oh my god.
And yes, she is selfish. We'll see more of that in the movie.
The movie is a different thing! Madoka Magica Rebellion. Yes, Homura's actions in the end are rather selfish. But, like, they are not without reason. Homura in the movie is, like, basically on her deathbed, okay? She is going to become a witch, and Madoka, as the law of cycles, is coming to take her soul so that she does not become a witch. And so it is in that moment, I don't actually like how yeah, that's fine. And it is in that moment that Homura grabs Madoka and steals her divinity. And so in the concept movie trailers, which actually, like, when I look at them now, are reminiscent of the current Walpurgis Nacht Rising movie, even with the two new characters. The Madoka Magica concept trailer talks about how, like, there is God up in heaven, but there is nothing in heaven that makes God happy. There is no breakfast in the morning. There's nobody to call your name. And the lizard girl took pity on God and dragged her down from heaven. That's the whole bit. Madoka is in, like, a not great situation, but she takes it because she doesn't take it. She accepts that responsibility and that burden, even if it does, like, hurt her, because she doesn't want other, and that is selfless. That is incredibly selfless. Madoka becoming the god of magical girls in order to ease other people of their suffering. That is incredibly selfless. But you haven't been talking about that this entire goddamn time! Ah! Peak toxic Urian rebellion. Yeah!
It's chaotically ironic, but also surprisingly logical. Homura sacrifices...
Also, like, saying, like, Homura only cares about Madoka and doesn't care about anything else and stuff, as if, like, ignoring the conversation that she had with Tatsuya and Junko, Madoka's little brother and mom, at the end of the series. As if ignoring all the times Homura said, do you value your family? Do you value your friends? Do you value the life you have? Because you are worth it, because people love you. You are loved and cared for by so many people because you are stronger than you think. You think Homura was just, like, saying shit because she wants Madoka to be hers and hers alone? No! Everything she's done has been to, like, attempt at Madoka's benefit. Ah! Sorry.
Everything and everyone to ensure Madoka's safety, and Madoka, being aware of this, decides to solve the problem for everyone by this time flipping the narrative and being the only one to disappear this time. The thing is that Madoka has no idea just how deep Homura's obsession goes.
No, that's not...
Before we continue on to the movie, let's talk about how this all relates to the
How
tale
are we
of
talking
Faust.
about
Within the first part, Madoka is destined to die, being imprisoned. Within the first part, Madoka is destined to die, being imprisoned by her fate, with only Homura being able to save her, just as Marguerite was quite literally imprisoned and was given the saving hand of Faust. In the final timeline, Madoka refuses Homura's protection and opts to save her instead. She then, in a way, dies and ascends to a higher plane, saving the souls who have been tricked by Kyubey, just as Marguerite had been granted access to heaven after refusing to be saved by Faust. Homura and the magical girls in the story reflect the character of Faust, with both wishing for something that's seemingly impossible,
How?
the outcome being eternal damnation, or in this case, becoming a witch. In Faust's case, he's given a time limit, though this can also be true for this story, seeing as we never see any magical girls that are full-grown adults, so if
Hey, buddy, if you want to talk like you know everything about the goddamn franchise, you want to talk about Magia Record? Because Livia's an adult, I'm pretty sure. Like, okay, wait, how do I don't know how to do toes. God damn it. This is tiring, actually. Also, I'm sorry, you're showing literally Joan of Arc as she is being burned at the stake, and the two magical girls that, like, and two of the magical girls that we see Madoka save in her saving all magical girls montage. Like, duh, they were going to die! Hot take, I do not ship Madoka. I like the interpretation that Homura has a crush on Madoka, but I don't think Madoka would be into her. Yeah. I've seen the finale of the original anime and the movie as two different continuities. That's fair. I don't know, man. It's, like, I think Madoka, like, as a god, probably, in the case of, like, Homura has feelings for Madoka, I feel like, as a god, Madoka would, like, be aware of that, but she would feel unable to, like, reciprocate or acknowledge them because, like, that would only hurt Homura more. I can't draw feet. I fucking hate this. God damn. Or something like that. I don't know. This...
For all we know, there could be an unstated time limit on their lives. Kyubey relates to Mephistopheles in that they're the antagonist of their respective stories. You see, each of them serves a greater purpose that goes beyond what we can imagine, and in Faust, despite Mephistopheles being the antagonist and bound to Lucifer, is still carrying out the will of God, much like how Kyubey is tied to the sustaining of the universe.
What?
Not only that, but both go back on their words of not lying, with Mephistopheles trying to mislead Faust into worldly pleasures to satisfy the pact that was made between the two, which stated that should he find satisfaction in the world before the timer had run out, it would lead to his death, something that Faust himself put in the pact. Mephistopheles will do anything to satisfy Lucifer's needs, and so going back on his word and misleading Faust isn't something he's actually fully against, much like how Kyubey will do anything to satisfy the sustaining of the universe. Also, Kyubey and Mephistopheles both appear in innocent forms, with the latter making his first appearance to Faust as a poodle, and Kyubey as an injured helpless cat to Madoka in the final time.
Okay, so Kyubey wasn't actually... I don't think Kyubey was, like, attempting to appear as an injured cat in the final timeline. I think Homura was on his ass, and he was like, oh, hey, wait a minute. I could try something here. And, like, I don't know. I always draw a triangle with a big circle at the bottom for the hair. I got it. Oh, man. This is just... what are you talking about? I'm, like, mad.
But it's time to talk about the movie.
What the fuck was that?
Holy moly, this was a goddamn trip. From the symbolism of the blimp sailing through the air relating to the Hindenburg, to hints at the oncoming catastrophe, to the children throwing pomegranates, which in Greek mythology symbolizes eternal life, while cheering Gott ist tot, which in German translates to God is dead. This ended up turning into one of my favorite anime films of all time. So first off, we get to see the ideal world for this group. They work together well and demolish everything. Stuff's light work for them. And for the first time, we get to see this entire group live in relative peace. But despite all that, something is most definitely wrong. We just came back from watching the anime or reading the Wraith arc. There's no way in hell things are this happy now. Not to mention all the fairy paintings plaguing the area, even when they're not fighting, on top of the fact that the students' faces are just blurs.
Stop calling them fairy paintings. What does that mean? I don't know what this video is about, frankly.
Also, Monika's here. She's not supposed to be here. She literally doesn't exist anymore. But you see, the thing is, even with it all being very obviously fake, I kinda couldn't help but wish it wasn't. Each of their fates are tragic, and seeing them live the life that they were actually promised feels deserved.
What?
But in the end, this is Monika we're talking about, so no happy endings for you. Over time.
No happy endings for you. Fuck off! This is not the tragic ending series. This is the, more, bittersweet ending series. Oh my god. I don't know. I think, I don't know. I hate when people talk about the show like that. As if it is only sadness, angst, depression. No, that's not a good way to talk about media. Sorry. Sorry. But, that bothers me so much. Because it is incredibly reductive in how we discuss these shows, how we discuss the things we engage with, and it's frustrating.
Homura would begin to catch on that something's not right. She's happy. What the fuck? That's not supposed to happen. This would give rise to an investigation with Kyoko to find out what's exactly wrong with this place, and also the point where shit starts to ramp up. The world around them falls apart once they reach Kazamino, and it starts to look more like the witch labyrinth that it is, and their senses of direction become misguided. This is the point where Homura actually returns. She now realizes that this world is a problem to not only her, but also Madoka. Witches aren't supposed to exist anymore due to the law of cycles, so how did this come to pass?
No. She said she figures, witches don't exist in this world. Witches aren't a thing. They fight nightmares. And the reason, witches being a thing is even a thing is because of Bebe, a witch that Homura knows intimately as the one who, has killed a reasonable crush at, has killed Mommy. So, she sees this because I don't think Kyubey doesn't exist in the dream world for the most part, does he? He's not there until the end when he reveals things to Homura. So it's not a matter of witches are here. It's Bebe is there, Charlotte is there, Nagisa is there, acting as a guide. Like Sayaka said, they're Madoka's secretaries. He is there? I can't remember. I'm so sorry. I haven't rewatched Rebellion in a hot minute. I'll get there eventually. But dude, what are you talking about?
Anything and anyone who got in the way from this point on was an obstacle that needed to be removed. This lady is clinically insane.
What the?
Anyways, let's talk about how our other characters changed, starting with Kyoko. Like the other characters, Kyoko is living her ideal life. She's the same Kyoko we've known this whole time, just under different circumstances. In this world, Sayaka and her are finally on the same page, unlike the previous worlds, and so the two can actually bond like how Kyoko wished for it to be in the Wraith arc. Even with all that, she's still Kyoko though, and unlike the rest of the cast, is still prone to second guessing. So when Homura asks her to take a trip with her to Kazamino City, Kyoko entertains her request. I have nothing more to say on this matter, on to Mami and Homura's fight. Homura and Mami's fight is the best one in the movie. Oh my god, it's amazing. There's actually quite a lot to talk about here, but let me rant about Nagisa first.
What the fuck?
Who is this baby? Why?
You're jumping around so much! Can you stick to a coherent point for 2 minutes? Can you stick? It's fine. Oh god, I am really reactive. I don't know, man.
Are they here? Can somebody explain to me how she's important to the plot? She's actually got a pretty solid backstory from Magia Record, and
What?
so she does have a lot of potential.
What?
Which is exactly why I'm not satisfied with what they did to her in the movie. Hopefully in the future.
What? You talked about Magia Record! What? So you acknowledge Magia Record. Why didn't you acknowledge any of the other shit that came from it? Why are you Also, Magia Records, Nagisa, it's a different timeline, dude. It's a different timeline because Nagisa is... Okay, what do you mean, like, oh... Are you reviewing this stuff? Are you analyzing it? What is this video? What are you doing? I don't know. I can't figure it out.
Future, they flesh out her character more because she had no reason to be included in this story. Yes, I'm aware that she's the witch that killed Mommy, but I just don't see why she's important. I understand that she's supposed to be the first indicator that witches exist in this world, but Sayaka already fulfills that, and not to mention the fairy paintings just plaguing the world.
Stop saying fairy paintings! What do you mean? And also, like, oh, Sayaka doesn't reveal her witch until, like, after Homura has reached the conclusion that witches are a thing. Okay? Sayaka is not the reason. Okay, so I'll be totally real. Bebe is there as a little bit of fan service, okay? Because Charlotte was such, like, a character that people, like, clung on to because of how significant it is. And in the Rebellion, I cannot get this fucking right. And I think she was chosen as, like, the witch representative because they probably did want to, like, take one of the witch designs from the original series and work backwards. They wanted to make a magical girl out that, like, previously existed. Well, because by fairy paintings, he means, like, the weird, like, art collages of like, the newspaper clipping type of art style going on. He calls them fairy paintings. And are you referencing, like, that case from, like, the early whatevers of, like, when those two girls, like, did Photoshop before Photoshop and tricked a bunch of people into thinking fairies are real? Is that what you're referring to? What? Oh my god. Baby is a red herring so that Homer takes longer to catch onto Coobs. Yeah, that too. And so, like, it's explained in the movie. Like, okay. So, magical girls. Soul Gem gets tainted. They are about to turn into a witch. Madoka swoops in and takes their soul to magical girl heaven. What is that like? I don't fucking know. There's that whole shit with Homura being held in the stasis field so that Madoka cannot, like, save her before she turns into a witch. Sayaka and Bebe are chosen to infiltrate that world and to hold on to Madoka's divinity in order to, like, work without Kyubey realizing what's going on.
Just roaming free. He didn't do much for the plot in the end other than breed conflict between Homura and Mami, so I mean, if the writers just needed an excuse for these two to fight, then I'll take it, cause god damn!
Oh my god,
What's
he's
going on? Look what you've done! Homura and Mami's fight helps us understand Homura's lack of perspective. She says that Mami's a softie who puts up a facade of being duty-bound, essentially saying that she's a snake-ass bitch. But when push comes to shove, Homura's the exact same.
No, well, okay, this dude is a fucking, having never watched, you should watch Madoka Magica, it's really good. This dude is a fucking power scaler. He's a power scaler, because what do you mean, like, oh, this Nagisa being here was so weird and unneeded for the plot, but if it causes, like, Mami and Homura to fight, then goddamn, it's like, dude, you're missing the reason for literally everything! Ah! Also, no! No! Homura was not calling Mami a snake-ass bitch. Homura was saying that Mami presents herself to the other characters as this mature, older sister type who has everything figured out. She is putting on a strong front, both for those around her as well as herself. It is not Homura, but inside, Mami is soft. She is frightened and scared, and so she puts on a mask, and that's not Homura saying she's a snake-ass bitch. That's Homura saying you act stronger than you are because that is what you feel you need to do, and you will crack under the pressure. I have seen you crack under the pressure. Let's not forget that time, like, when Sayaka turned into a witch, and Mami's immediate response was to tie Homura up so she couldn't stop time, to kill Kyoko and aim her gun at Homura, saying, if we become witches, then we have no choice but to die. All of us, myself included. Okay? Like, Homura has seen Mami at her lowest point. That is not Homura calling her a snake-ass bitch. That is Homura saying, you will crack under the pressure you put yourself under. What the fuck is wrong with you, my guy?
In their fight, is visibly disturbed by the idea of hurting Mami, and even after being given the opportunity to kill Mami for getting in her way, she backs out and aims for her leg instead. Just in that one gesture, we're told a million things. Homura does care about the main cast, whether it be due to lingering feelings from her original timeline, or the fact that she's as naive as the rest. Her sense of altruism is still very much there.
What are you...
She hates Mami the most as well, because she's the most like her, with even their strengths being on par with one another.
What?
It's funny because Mami and Homura can both be seen as the more selfish ones in the group, with Mami even siding with Kyubei at one point in order to lure Sayaka and Madoka into becoming magical girls with her to cure her fears.
No! 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 Mami does not side with Kyubei to get, like, Sayaka and Madoka to become magical girls to cure her feels. That is something. Firstly, like, Madoka and Sayaka have the potential to become magical girls whether or not Mami is involved, okay? Mami is not what brings that makes them magical girls, okay? Like, she is there as a mentor. And Mami struggles with the fact that she is bringing these two girls into this dangerous world. How are you missing all of these pieces of information blatantly given to you? Oh my God! You're trying to create this analysis that nobody has done before, to feel superior and smarter about this fucking 20-year-old show at this point. Is it 20? No, not quite, but 10-year-old show at this point. But, like, you're just saying shit that doesn't make any sense when actually looking at the context of the goddamn show! Whew. Sorry, that was a little much. How are we all feeling? This guy reads as someone who's only read the wiki. True! Oh my God.
And yet, both struggle all the same with hurting each other.
What?
They're extremely similar characters with different circumstances.
What does that mean? You cannot just flash shit on the screen and not explain it. What does that mean? What does that mean? Are those like is that katakana and hiragana that's like, oh, they're the same characters but they're like in different contexts? Is that what that is? Because you have to fucking explain your goddamn jokes. Ah!
Meanwhile, Kyubey doesn't change at all. Yep, he's the exact same little rat as before. But from here on out, we only talk about the goats of this movie, starting with Sayaka. Sayaka was one of those characters that I already liked at the beginning, considering how tragic all of her fates ended up being across all timelines. So seeing her...
How do you know Sayaka's fate across all timelines when you've barely interacted with other Madoka media? I bet this guy doesn't know about not Kazumi Magica. What is it? Oriko. You don't know Oriko Magica. Oriko Magica was fucking raw, my guy. And I bet you don't fucking know, because you don't know anything of what you're talking about. You're like picking and choosing what you want to discuss when you're trying to like, am I crazy? Am I like overreacting? Or is this nothing but bullshit? I'm so... What are you saying? What are you talking about? You need to add context and substantiate what you are saying, because so far, nothing makes goddamn sense. Can we, like, loop back around to you saying Kyubey is, like, equivalent to a sexual predator? Because no, that was really fucking weird to say. Yes, Sayaka was fucking... Look, okay, so there is a thing of, like... So, it was stated somewhere that basically every timeline Sayaka becomes a magical girl, she becomes a witch, okay? But that says nothing about the timelines where she doesn't become a magical girl. Because she still exists, she just isn't relevant to the story at the time. Okay? Okay. Let reasonable crash out really good. I'm fucking losing it.
What a clock.
I don't know.
Which was actually one of my favorite parts of this movie. Sayaka throughout the anime was someone who fought against the current of fate at all costs despite all arrows pointing otherwise, so to see her as a character who's going with the flow gave some more depth to her. Her view of the world goes from black and white to that of morally grey. She questions Homoda's morality and comes to accept her witch form after being saved by Madoka, viewing it as a sort of strength of hers and using it in combat.
That's... I mean, not quite. She doesn't really talk about her views of her witch form. She just summons it in the, like, final battle. She summons it to keep hold of Homura's witch. She's using whatever is at her disposal. I don't know. God damn it, I'm fucking tired.
She can see both sides of the world, and while she may still be in love with Kyosuke, she's able to move on in a way that's healthy, whilst also being happy for Hitomi despite her being a snake-ass bitch. In the end...
Hitomi is not would you stop? Saw Octavia clicked on stream. Hello! Sayaka is also my favorite. Would you stop describing these 14-year-old girls as snake-ass bitches? Like, okay, if you do it once for a joke, sure, whatever. But this is constant, and it's really weird. Hitomi didn't really do anything wrong. She's 14. Oh my god! Jesus Christ! Ah!
This doesn't stop Homoda from finding the truth behind this world, and Sayaka doesn't get in her way. She accepts that Homoda is the way she is, and makes room for her to discover what's truly happened. She wasn't against Homoda.
No, Sayaka isn't there to like, keep Homura from discovering the truth of this world. Sayaka is there to aid Madoka in their mission to save Homura from Kyubey's bullshit! It's insane! It's insane! I haven't seen Rebellion in fucking years! And yet I can still clearly remember this shit better than him! Ah!
She was just testing her. Now, let's finally shift our focus onto how Madoka and Homura fit into all of this. Madoka and Homura's
You are barely discussing the plot. You are barely guiding your audience through this story so that they can understand it even if they haven't seen the fucking show. You're barely... Oh my god, deadass, so many people when it comes to this show can be unnecessarily upset forgetting this is a show about middle schoolers and their mistakes are very realistic. Oh my god.
Is yet another one of my favorite scenes in this movie. Honestly, the entire second half of this movie is absolute cinema. I must have watched Homura's realization and transformation like 10 times before writing this script. Back on topic. In this conversation,
Oh, ding ding.
At Hyperglathos donated $20 through Super Chat. Long stream? Have a treat.
Oh, that's very nice. Thank you so much. Oh, I need a treat after this because this dude just is singing. Honestly, I have thought about, like, just dropping the video, but I went out of my way to ask for permission, so I better finish it. Like, I dropped my pen. It's okay, cool, let's...
witness Homura's delusions at full force and begin to piece together that this isn't Madoka, like, at all.
No, fuck!
Antagonist, and anyone who got it, because she had no but for those characters that despite all the way. She accepts that Homura should do all of it. The entire delusions at Madoka.
Okay, no, so incorrect. That is Madoka, but it is simply Madoka without her divinity. It is Madoka. Madoka is there, but like she split her divinity apart so that she could infiltrate without tipping off Kyubey. Get a sherbet. I actually did recently, for at my brother's, not at the wedding, but at the, like, rehearsal party, I actually did get some dairy-free ice cream. It was cookies and cream, and the lady who gave it to me was so nice because she literally, like, gave it to me for, oh, fuck, how do I get rid of this? For, like, free. I was tired of being next to, like, my mom and grandmother and all that stuff. And so I noticed Philip was gone, my brother was gone, and so I went off to find them, and they were at this ice cream place, like, across from where we were having dinner. And so I was there, and my brother's fiance, now wife, was like, oh, hey, you want some? And, you want to get some? And I'm like, oh, no, the allergies. And she was like, oh, well, I mean, there are, like, dairy-free. And I'm like, no, yeah. And then the lady who was serving them is like, well, if it helps, we do use, like, fresh scoops, fresh gloves. They're, like, basically assuring me there is no chance of cross-contamination. And so she gave me a little sample, because I was like, can I have, like, a sample of, like, maybe the cookies and cream? She's like, yeah. And so I tried it, and I'm like, wow, good. And so I was like, can I have a small, please? And so she gave it to me, and I was pulling out my wallet, and she's like, oh, no, this one's on me. And I'm like, what? Oh. And it was so sweet, and I got to have ice cream, and it was so cool. Oh, my God. And then I walked in, and then, like, mom, like, grandmama was like, what are you eating? And I'm like, ice cream. And grandma was like, good for you for, like, and it's, like, because I've always been extremely picky, and mainly just because anything that I don't already eat, I'm, like, scared of. I'm scared of trying new things. I like routine. And so, but, like, mom and grandmama were, like, really proud of me for, like, trying something different. And that was cool. I'm so glad it didn't kill you and you could enjoy the joy of ice cream. Well, I mean, it was dairy-free, and it was very nice. And also, the softened Oreo cookies inside of the ice cream, because it was cookies and cream. Oh, so good. Anyway, what the fuck was this guy saying?
And begin to piece together that this isn't Madoka, like, at all. Madoka isn't the type of
What was that? What was that? What? Sorry, what?
How Madoka and Hawkins in this movie, and transformation illusions that Madoka is, and begin to piece together that this isn't Madoka, like, at all.
I'm sorry, what?
Full force and begin to piece
What
together
the
that
fuck?
this isn't Madoka, like, at all. Madoka
What is that? What is that?
force and begin to piece together that this isn't Madoka, like, at all.
Oh my fucking god damn it. Give me a second, gotta put it back into the window. What? When the imposter is sus. What does that mean?
Madoka isn't the type of character who would be too scared to sacrifice herself because it would mean
Oh my god, yes.
leaving everyone behind. Not only does Madoka already have extremely low self-esteem, but she did it so everyone could go forward and transition into their next stage of life cleanly, and we even see how happy Madoka is with her decision in the final episode of the anime. Madoka is finally useful, which was her main flaw, so why would she not want to do this?
No, it's not that she wants to be useful. It's that, like, it's Madoka in there is saying that she couldn't do that because it would be scary and she's not strong enough. Homura, who knows how strong Madoka is as a person, not on a power scaling level, says, no, you could do that. You are so much braver and stronger than you think. Whatever.
The words that came out of the fake Madoka mean absolutely nothing,
It's
but
not-
to Homura, those words were everything she needed. And it's at this point in the story we realize Homura doesn't actually love Madoka. Homura loves the idea of Madoka.
What the delusion maxing? Delulu maxing, I'm sorry. What the fuck? What are you? How did it change the subgenre forever? That is the title of the goddamn video, and you have not explained shit. You are not explaining anything. You're not even explaining the anime correctly. Holy God! I think this is the most frustrated that I have been in one of these, like, react video thingies, because, like, he's so full of himself and so assured that his interpretation is correct. I hate Gen Z. They literally just be saying words. Oh my god, earlier, my roommate said that my cat baby was cute maxing, and I was like, Claire. But then I'm like, okay, no, I can get behind it. She is cute maxing. It's like, but like, you have to know, like, that is said in, like, a silly, like, I don't... This video was posted like a year ago, right? Yeah, 1 year ago. And also his fucking ChatGPT ass, like, description. Like, so if you're curious how Madoka Magica reshaped a fun subgenre into something unforgettable, you're in the right place. Whether it's clever symbolism or what makes the show perfect in its own way, there's a lot to discover about this anime that changed everything. You have said nothing of that degree! You have barely stayed on fucking topic for 2 minutes. You keep bouncing back and forth between... It's endearing and also, like, feels like an actual word. Yeah, cute maxing. But, like, you... Is this a review? Is this an analysis? I don't know what you're talking about. You are not discussing this show on its level. You are not discussing it as a piece of meta-analysis in its place in the magical girl genre. You're just saying bullshit! Oh my god. At least this dude isn't just openly racist like the fucking Game Over Sky. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Everything that Homura has sacrificed has been for an idealized version of a person. Homura has
No!
let countless people die, started an infinite time loop, and risked her life multiple times just for the sake of a character. Not a person, a character.
Where are you getting that information? Homura was doing this for Madoka. Yes, you can make the argument that Homura maybe doesn't actually know Madoka all that well. It's something that Homura herself explicitly states, that every time she goes back, she drifts further and further apart from Madoka, who was her friend! Madoka was the one who helped Homura when she was insecure and scared and didn't know jack shit. And like hated herself for being physically weak, for being slow and clumsy and not a why pen pressure just fucked up for a moment. You saying that Homura does not actually care about Madoka is just blatant ignoring everything within the fucking text.
The Madoka that Homura's in love with doesn't exist anymore. With her new resolve, Homura decides to experiment on herself.
Yes, the Madoka Homura loves doesn't exist because Madoka is a concept now. Madoka does not exist within the physical universe. Ugh!
To see if she's the witch. This world seems perfect, but more so in her favor than anyone else's. All the others have some sort of negative aspect to their characters here that Homura disagrees with, except for Madoka. And
What?
so, Homura finally realizes what's happened to her.
Oh god, he's gonna try and be artsy. Your artsy edits don't mean shit if
Holy
your
shit,
analysis
I have
is
no words for this.
garbage.
Easily one of the best scenes in this series. The tragic irony of Homura being the witch the whole time made my jaw drop. Like, what the fuck? Also, the soundtrack that plays, oh my god, you're hearing it right now. This shit's amazing. I have no other words from this point on. After this, we get some more magical girl stuff. Yay!
What?
I mean, shit gets pretty dark at times here, but it's overall a positive note. And
What are you talking? Oh, then we get some magical girl stuff. Wee! And it's like, are you kidding? It is the girls fighting against the Homura's familiars to save her. Why do you just, like, blow that off as some magical girl stuff? Ah! Can we go back to you saying Kyubey is a sexual predator? Like, that didn't... You made that point, and then you moved the fuck on. And you have yet to mention it. And also, you haven't mentioned how Madoka Magica changed the subgenre forever. Woo! And it's like, shut up! You've brought up Yuki Yuna as a hero, and you've brought up Magical Girl Raising Project, which, by the way, Magical Girl Raising Project was originally a fucking light novel. What year did the light novel come out? Give me a moment. I'm sorry to, like, interrupt my fucking ranting for this, but I need to know the goddamn timeline. Magical Girl Raising Project. I can't spell. My fingers are hitting the wrong keys. Yeah, okay. So it published 18 volumes in 2012, okay? So, yeah, cool. But saying that influenced the anime no, and it has its own fucking problems, and just, like... Oh, it's fine. What are you gonna say now? Sorry, I gotta fucking, yeah.
Ooh, look, Monika's gonna save Homura now. They'll finally be reunited. At the end of the movie, she stabs everyone in the fucking back and traps the universe, including Monica, in her world after evolving into a demon who can rewrite the very principles of the universe.
Okay, so hold up. Homura calls herself a devil. She says what else could I be called after stripping the divinity from God but a devil? Homura calls herself a devil because Homura fucking hates herself. Did you miss the symbolism of Homura smashing herself into a pulp with her fist over and over and over while distorted versions of her braided, glassed, weak self stand over her, watching? Did you miss that? Hi. How are y'all? Good. So people coming in, welcome. Hi. I promise I'm not always like this. It's just that, it's been like 2-3 hours. This is a 31-minute video. I've been talking about it this entire time. And it's really bad and really dumb. Oh God, my head hurts. I don't ever want to discourage people from talking about media because if you can't tell, I love media analysis. I fucking live off it, dude. Ever since I was a kid, I always just wanted to, like, talk about characters and think of fun stories, and then later on that evolved into a more nuanced discussion of, like, why are these characters the way that they are? Why are they written the way that they are? How could it, all that stuff. All that. And, I remember the first time I kind of had that feeling, or at least one of the first times that I can remember is, in, like, 2005, maybe? I don't know. I was young. I was in the single digits. I was a child. And I was watching the Avatar: The Last Airbender finale with Papa and my brother, and we were watching it. And when Katara chained Azula up, and Azula was flailing and screaming and crying as, like, her perfect victory fell apart in front of her. As a child, I thought, this is making me feel something that I don't understand. Why do I feel bad for Azula, who was the villain? And now I can say, I feel bad for Azula because she's a deeply complex character who was never given the chance to be a normal teenager because her father constantly pitted her against her older brother and, like, but still abused her in a very different way than Zuko. It's like... So I love media analysis. I love thinking about things. I love thinking, dude! Also, can I say, like, whatever image he's using to say, like, oh, this is just like Faust, that looks like a Jewish stereotype. Like a classical anti-Jewish stereotype. That was the time period with Faust and stuff, but still, like, I don't know, maybe think 2 goddamn seconds before editing that shit in your video, you fucking moron! That was mean, and I am sorry for that. That was a little much calling him a moron. But whew.
Yeah, the power scaling on this show goes crazy.
Power scaling! Shut! I don't care. I don't care that we're 2 minutes from the end. I'm done. He spent the entire goddamn time not saying the reason I'm not drawing is because I'm gesturing. I talk with my hands, I am gesturing. He spent the entire goddamn time not saying anything. He didn't mention, he got shit wrong. He said that the manga came first, which is literally the most basic, elementary shit information you can talk about with Madoka Magica. Oh my god, He compared Kyubey to sexual predators. No, I am not getting over that. That's fucking insane to say. And in what feels like a kind of pseudo wokeness of like, I'm cool because I'm putting a patriarchy metaphor on the show. I am one of the good men. Like, shut the fuck up, dude. Oh my god. And saying that like women just turn into bitches and witch and magical girls. What the fuck? What subgenre were you talking about? You never specified. You didn't talk about any other magical girl shows. You didn't talk about the fucking history of it. You didn't specify if the subgenre that you were talking about were just the magical girl subgenre or specifically the dark magical girl subgenre, which was, you're not saying anything of value. And if all your other videos are like this, holy fuck, dude. Like, start taking notes when you watch shows. Or, like, actually watch the shows you're discussing instead of just reading the fucking Wikipedia article about it. Jesus Christ. I love people are like, oh, are you okay? And then it's like, yeah, she's been at it for a while. Oh my god. I have a fan. My mom made them for my brother's wedding and I grabbed a couple. It's really fun. I do need to fix it a little bit, just glue the little wooden parts. 交わした約束忘れないよね訪れ確かめる星寄せて闇振り放って進むよラララララララ Jesus Christ. Ugh. Alright, it's fine. We're so fine. We're good. We're fine. It's cool and fine and chill and fine. And I've been at this for 3 goddamn hours. Ugh. This video sucked. And, like, I don't even know if I want to, like, leave a comment saying, hey, your video sucked. Because I don't want to fucking give that guy any traction, because it sucks. Oh, God. And also, I just remembered this thing. Also, fucking Yuki Yuna's straight up Madoka ripoff. Explain to me how, you... Yeehaw. Only 2 days from Akira Claire's identity unraveling. I'm excited. I don't like the Cure Claire mystery. I think it's kind of stupid, but whatever. Who wants to hear a cover I made of the Madoka Magica theme? Fucking 11, Jesus Christ. Wait. No, wait, that'll probably get my shit nuked. Jesus Christ. So anyway, this is what I drew, in that time period. My little eggy magical girl. She's doing a transformation. I don't know if this would be like an actual like storyboard. I definitely want like the egg and then she pops out of it. But I'm not sure about like other bits. Oh my god. I'm cool. This is, oh god. I love I need to watch Goodbye Laura. I've seen it. Also, okay, so I recently, like, because on airplane flights they had TV things. I actually recently watched like a bunch of Disney movies. So I watched The Lion King. I have seen The Lion King before, and more recently was like thinking about it because of like Your Movie Sucks' like videos about the quote unquote live action Lion King and things like that. And it's cool, and Lion King was good, but I wanted to watch it, because, I was trying to figure out what the fuck is Leona's deal in Twisted Wonderland, because I fucking hate the guy, and I don't understand what his problem is. It feels like he just made up all of his problems in his head, and he gets really mad at other people for that fact. But God, also I do like this little thing that I did. Anyway, but here's my Twisted Wonderland self-insert. I have like little glasses holders to keep my glasses from falling off because I don't have an eye doctor in this world. Got an anti-magic bracelet. Dude, Your Movie Sucks Lion King is so good. I have like that protects me from spells, you know, so I don't just get burned to death with a fireball. I got a hair tie because I gotta tie my hair up. Cater probably good, and I have a bag, that it's and mostly potions for DIY magic applications. Yeah. No, but the Lion King, and then here's my little chibi. Here's my little chibi. Cause it's cute, and it took me forever. There's so many layers, and oh my god. No, but the Your Movie Sucks things, like I really like Your Movie Sucks, and I feel like and honestly his videos on both Kimba the White Lion and Lion King, like made me realize that he really is like, oh, thank you so much. He really is different from other like rage YouTubers, reviewers. Like he cares about the craft. He cares about art. He cares about how it's made and how it's like discussed. And his like analysis on like the music of Lion King was so cool and so like he cares a lot, and that's why he's like, your movie sucks, because he analyzes movies on a level. I'm not saying that his analysis is always the correct one, but it's really cool, and I like that about him. Gotta grab her hair color, her pre-transform hair color. Wee, yeah. But what was I saying? Fuck. God damn it. I'm extremely tired. Oh, right. Disney movies. But I watched a bunch of Disney movies. I watched The Lion King to try and figure out what the hell Leona's deal is, because, and I still don't understand his deal. I love the editing stream of Lion King video. Care so much, especially when he loves the movies. Yeah, it's so good. But I watched Sleeping Beauty. Sleeping Beauty is fucking beautiful. Holy shit. It is like a medieval tapestry, and it's so cool. And honestly, I'm like, oh my god, I need to watch the Maleficent movie because I know that Twisted Wonderland does, in fact, take quite a lot of lore from that when it, like, twisted the character of Maleficent. And it kind of, and my roommate explained a little bit of, like, what they did in that movie, and it sounds really, really interesting, and I really want to know more. And then I watched Alice in Wonderland, was very interesting. It's very funny. Have you checked the Japanese version of Twisted Wonderland? I hear the English did certain characters dirty. For example, I've heard Leona is less mean. They cut a bunch of stuff from chapter 2. I don't know how to access the Japanese version of Twisted Wonderland because I know there's a way, but I do not speak Japanese, and therefore I honestly wouldn't get a lot out of that experience. And like Leona's problem isn't that my problem with Leona is not that he's mean. It's that like he can be mean all goddamn day. I don't care. But like he like created his own problems and I don't really get that. No, but Sleeping Beauty is so fucking beautiful. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's so incredible. It's so cool. But also, again, it's funny, because I don't remember ever watching Sleeping Beauty before, really. So it's kind of funny to watch this movie with Twisted Wonderland in mind, because I am that mentally ill about the stupid fucking Pretty Boy franchise. But, so... and like, oh my god, what else? Cake, are you interested in Kaiju Girl Caramelized? I have not heard of that, and I have no clue what it is. If that answers your question. Sleeping Beauty is so fucking beautiful. But then, so Alice in Wonderland, it's really funny. Alice in Wonderland, I've never read Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. So perhaps that is shifting my perspective a bit. But like that is just an hour and 15 minutes of just shit happening. And it's really funny. And I guess like, and that is kind of the point, but it's really funny. And then I watched The Little Mermaid. Ariel is now my second favorite princess. Me with Kingdom Hearts, so I get it, yeah. Ariel is now my second favorite princess. And every single bullshit criticism people have made towards The Little Mermaid in the name of faux feminism is, in fact, wrong and stupid. Ariel does not give up her voice until halfway through the movie, and even without her voice, she is an incredibly expressive and animated character. She is like doing all these motions and doing all these different ways to communicate, and it is impressive, and it showcases her and her personality because she's a fucking human otaku, and Prince Eric is just as into it. He literally is like there's this bit where he is showing her the kingdom, and he gives her the reins of the carriage, and she whips it hard, and the horses run off a cliff, and they just barely manage to land on the other side, and Ariel is like smiling wide, and Eric is like, oh my god, we almost died. But there's like a moment where he like, part of your world tops, yeah, but like he just like smiles because he's kind of in love with this crazy woman who just almost got them killed, and it's really cool. What was I saying? I don't even remember, dude. I don't know. Also, I have Once Upon a Dream just stuck on repeat in my head. Holy shit. Oh my god. It's so good, dude. Oh my god, it's so good. I don't know Part of Your World in English. I know it in Japanese because Yuki Kaja, the voice actor, like, he's a voice actor. He voiced Eren Yeager in Attack on Titan, and as a middle schooler, I had the biggest goddamn crush on Eren Yeager from Attack on Titan, and so I found a clip of Yuki Kaja singing Part of Your World, and I was just like, huh. And so I listened to it on repeat, now I can sing it in Japanese. Perfectly? No. But, like, yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I mean, I understand Triton's anger in the fact that he believes humans are dangerous, but that comes from ignorance. And he's definitely not as loving of a father, but, like, I don't know. It's just, that's a complicated situation that I don't feel like really commenting on. And also, if any Disney villain deserves a prequel story, it's Ursula. I want to know her beef with Trident. Somebody already linked me to the stage version of The Little Mermaid, where she was the oldest of seven sisters, and also apparently Triton is her brother, and she killed all her sisters and their dad, and just like that shit's mad cool. I don't know. Oh my god, I'm hot. I'm like actually sweaty. Fuck. Whew. Oh my god, it's hot. It's hot in here, like literally. Yeah, no, but Ursula deserves her own prequel. It'd be like, not fucking Cruella de Vil. She can just be an evil bitch who wants to make a bunch of puppy dogs her coat or whatever. But like, dude, goddamn. I love Ariel. Ariel, I've thought this for years. Ariel kind of has like a Jimmy Neutron head thing going on, and I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of that. Yeah. God, I kind of want to watch the fucking Genshin video that everyone's been yapping about, as somebody who deeply criticizes Genshin. Like, I want to see, like, are these criticisms really that bad? I don't know. But also, I'm fucking exhausted. It's hot. I need to turn the air conditioning on. Sure. Oh, cool. Yeah. I need my fan on. Holy shit. I know you. I walked with you once upon a dream. I know you. The gleam in your eye is familiar to me. And I know it's true that visions are seldom all they seem. But if I know you, I know what you'll do. You'll love me at once, the way you did once upon a dream. I've just been singing that song in like multiple different ways over and over for like the last several days. God damn. It's so good. Like, ugh. Also, you know what? I'm gonna end stream. But I'm gonna put this in your head. I need Toxic Yaoi between Sebastian the Crab and the chef in The Little Mermaid that is in, Prince Eric's castle.